What's up, everybody? Welcome to Honesty Hour. I'm your overlord, Zach, and I have with me Steph Chung. Welcome from DFA.
Yeah.
And
took a week off.
I think one of our only cast members on that show that hasn't at one point been an employee at HBS.
Yes.
So
I'm a free agent.
Congratulations for that. You're a free agent.
Yay!
Well done. Well done.
I didn't drink the Kool-Aid. Yay!
So
I'm pretty sure it's great Kool-Aid. They make great things.
Yeah,
magic
happens. They really do. They really do. So guys, we're going to be answering your questions tonight, talking about some heavy topics, some not so heavy topics. We're going to talk about the channel, things that are changing, things that have been happening, all that good stuff. This is the show where you guys get to talk to us and we get to talk to you because we don't do that very often on this channel since we do so much really big shit. Oh, bye Mark. Thanks for your help. We do so much really large production stuff. We understand that you guys don't really get a chance to get to know us and to talk about things going on besides the almost unlimited amount of time that I spend in Discord and in the chat room talking to you guys.
And usually I'm too busy role-playing and destroying robots to really get to know you guys. Besides watching paint dry. But.
People still complain and say that I don't update them enough and tell them what's going on. I'm like, I am literally in Discord at 2 in the morning. Like, talking to you. And we tweet everything. And it's on Facebook.
What more you want from me?
And we have Rabbit Stew. And it's in the chat. And our mods. Yeah, and they're just still like, do better, do more. Whatever.
You secretly love it though. No? No?
No!
Oh.
I'm like, okay.
I don't know.
Oh, Malika's gonna sit right off to the side, staring at me, making me nervous.
You know, she has pad thai. She's gonna eat it in front of us.
And you went up to dinner early today.
I did, and I invited you, and in typical Malika fashion, she was like, "No, I don't want to go." And then right when I'm about to walk into the restaurant, she calls. Like, so where'd you go? That happens all the time. I don't want anything. I'm like, do you really not want anything? She told me once, she's like, you're supposed to understand that with Thai people, you ask 3 times for the honest answer. So I have to remember.
Oh.
Yeah, 3 times.
Magic.
My
wow.
bad. It's my
sir.
fault.
You should accept mine.
It's my fault.
It is your fault.
You're supposed to count better.
Do you want it? Do you want some food? Do you actually want some food? When do you want me to get you food? Okay, how am I feeling? Well, this is throat coat. I am rough. It's been pretty rough this week. I lost my voice. No. I lost my voice the other night. I've been waking up like really sick every day. And then to top it off, I've just been so stressed. But we did have good news today. The Necropolis event got pushed back.
Oh.
For good reasons. Because we want it to be better.
Cool.
So
that'll be good.
It's now going... We're waiting to hear exactly what date. I said something earlier, but then like, wait. We need to make 100% sure. But it is not going to be the 25th. We're pushing it back to make it better, to throw more at it, to get bigger influencers here and all that kind of stuff. So that's good, and that was good news.
Yeah.
And I needed that. It's been
just
a rough week.
Pressure off us a little bit for sure.
Yeah, it's rough. But somebody asked what's on your shirt.
Oh, this is Natalie Hall. You should follow her. She's an amazing artist. Definitely inspires me a ton. Natalie Hall on Twitter and I think it's Oh No Natalie on Instagram. Freaking awesome.
So Krellin want to know how donations were tonight. They were better than usual. That was an experiment. We'll see how it lasts over time. Pretty much anytime we unroll something new, people go for it. So we'll see over time. But I think making it cheaper and making it dice instead of edge, like, the thing is, a lot of you gues tell us stuff like, why don't you do this, why don't you do that? We're always listening. We're always listening. And we're always trying to make things better. And I want to start off tonight throwing this back on you guys a little bit, and by saying we've noticed a trend, and it's not a trend that we like, and it's something that I want to try to figure out as a community how we can fix it, because it's not good for us. And that trend is we feel like people don't trust us, and I don't mean that from a financial standpoint. I think the problem, and it might be my fault, because we're trying to be, this is an experiment in so many ways. There's a new company, and we're doing things very different than a traditional media company. And having this back and forth where we say stuff like, we want you guys' feedback. We do, and we listen to what you guys say. But there's a difference between feedback and nitpicking.
Yeah.
And we're getting a lot of nitpicking and people complaining to us, and not just to us, but publicly complaining on public forums and stuff, which is stuff that's like, it feels like they don't trust us. It's like, it comes off to us as if like they don't realize that we are listening and we are working non-stop to try to make this channel better every day and every night, non-stop. And it's driving Emily and I crazy because we're working so hard to get the word out about our channel. If you guys want to know what the number one problem is on this channel right now, it's reach. It's outreach. The number one issue with this channel is we will not survive if more people don't know about it. So we've tightened up so many things. The shows have gotten so good. The shows keep getting better.
Holy crap.
We've gotten so much smoother with stuff. We've streamlined all that stuff. And we are a team of 4 people, and we're getting stuff done that would take usually teams of 20.
I mean, we've got so many mods working and helping us out.
Yes,
we have to
we
realize,
really
like, physically in here, like, Joe does everything, Zach does everything. Emily, community manager, doesn't even cover what she does. I don't even know how you guys are alive. Anna's here, and she finally got, like, has time now. But still, like, you guys working
We work nonstop.
endlessly.
It's roughly 16 hours a day. It always ends up to around 16 hours a day. Like, we are working really hard. And I think one of the things I'm worried about is this, when you make something, like, really open-ended, like, back, forth, and you empower the community, I think sometimes the issue becomes that empowered community gets the idea that now they know better than we do. Which is a tricky slope because you guys do give us great ideas, you really do, and we're listening to feedback.
There's so many of you, so there's always
there's
so
a lot of really good ideas, and we take the stuff we can and the stuff we don't. The problem is when I think the psychology of empowering people that much and running off that kind of stuff makes them think sometimes that we don't know what we're doing because we're asking, but we really do. And I've been doing this for 2 years, and we never stop thinking about it. You can ask my girlfriend, who unfortunately has to listen to, since Ryan's been staying with us, I finally go home, and then Ryan stay up another hour after we finally go home, talking about it and how we can make it better and trying to do everything we can. Like, you guys, we provide you with entertainment. You go out and you do your thing, and you come in, and you might notice something we don't and give us some good feedback, but when it comes to the nitpicking and stuff like that, it's like, this is what we do nonstop. And it reminds me a little bit like the people who watch football and sit in their recliner and they're yelling at the coach, telling the coach how to do it, not realizing the irony of someone who's sitting on the recliner telling a person who spent every day for 20 to 30 years of their life
training
how to do it better. But the difference is that coach doesn't have to hear those people in the armchairs. Here we do. So it creates
so
a
direct,
fucked up.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
no
direct.
buffer. There is no buffer.
There's no buffer. We hear it all. And we're always hearing it. And it's not that we need praise. We don't need praise. We want your feedback. We want people to understand that when people are nitpicking really, really like heavily on stuff, what happens is when people tune into that. Okay, a good example is if you went to the Hyper RPG Reddit thread right now. Say you just heard about Hyper RPG and you don't know much about them and you Google it. Reddit shows up fairly high in Google search results because it has a good SEO, which is why you kind of want a good Reddit. Our own community is using our Reddit to complain about all the things on the shows they don't like.
Oh no!
So they're not helping us, they're hurting us. Like, they're actually hurting us. Now, we want those people's feedback.
Is that a thing where, like, feedback needs to be given in a different way? In a different platform?
Well, like, we make ourselves available. We have hello@hyperrpg.com. We have Discord. We have those things. And unfortunately, what ends up happening is we're a really small community. So... And I don't want to discredit those people, like, they have good points and stuff, but I just don't think people realize we're small. We are really small. When I was at Geek and Sundry, it was different. When you have people nitpicking what you're doing there, it's a couple people nitpicking, and you might find some good ideas out of that, but out of thousands of people praising you and saying you're doing great stuff and sharing it and all that kind of stuff. So the difference is we're a small community. With not even 9,000 followers
like
yet.
Literal
We're
grassroots,
super
from the ground up,
grassroots.
yeah.
So when we have our small community complaining publicly, instead of saying like, holy shit, this shouldn't even exist on Twitch. It's unreal that this stuff even has a place on Twitch. It looks really bad to people who might just be trying to find us. And our number one problem is outreach. We need more people watching or we will not survive. And it keeps me up every single night. And we're working really hard to try new things to do that. But when new people come in, if it's a bunch of people arguing about how they don't like some little change in this, or they're yelling at each other in the chat room, like rules lawyering and stuff like that, they're not making it a fun community to be a part of. I think you guys are amazing, and I think you're all super passionate, and you like what we're doing enough to stick around. And I love that. You guys are obviously still here. You're still a part of it. You obviously like it a lot. I think the difference is we need to focus on, as a community, being more positive. And if part of that's my problem, I'll work on that. If me doing the grump kind of bit was like easier, or like easier on a channel when we have thousands and thousands of positive people in there, and I had to come in there to do the grump thing to get rid of trolls, it's fine. If I need to tone that down because it's reflecting back on you guys, I will. Being positive as a community is really important because we are a positive community. And so Jailbell says, what gets the most positive feedback? That's hard for us to even say because we get more negative feedback than positive by far. And it drives Emily and I crazy because we get mostly people sending us private messages about all the things they don't like with our channel. And we're just going nuts because we're like, we're stretched so thin and we're trying so hard to please everybody, which is impossible.
Yeah.
So instead of things that we shouldn't do, maybe something we can do is talk about stuff that you're happy about, because we don't know if we should cut my show or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so dude. You guys may not have been able to. Krellin says I need to turn down the grump. So it is a bit, and if you watch, and Krellin, I kind of told you, and I am only playing the grump really now on like one show, and that's just Shadowrun when I'm rolling dice. I'm on this channel painting in my natural habitat. I'm talking about comic books. Now I'm GMing a show. Like, I feel like I'm really positive on this channel actually, and that the grump bit has turned way down from what it used to be. But I think that what Malika was just saying is, what's good for us is giving us positive feedback on the things you do like, so we can then look through all that and see what kind of stuff is getting the most strong response.
Or how to make it better. Like, nitpicking is one thing. Like, if something makes you, like, uncomfortable and it's hard to put into words, that's fine. Mm-hmm. But, like, word it in a way that can help us. Like, we want to make things better. We always do. Like, we all work really, really hard to either make role-playing better, to make our shows better, to make...
And we're way harder on ourselves than you guys are.
Yeah.
Like, we're way harder on ourselves.
Like, and we love you guys. Oh my gosh, it's so great. You have, this community is so awesome, so of course you want to work really hard. So maybe, like, I haven't read I'm not on Reddit, but, like, talking about, like, where... Like, throwing out ideas. That's more helpful than, this sucks, this sucks. I'm like, okay, why? It's just like, even in a workplace, you're always going to be like, hey, great job on this. We can work on this. Not that you suck at this. It's like...
Well, it's not that they're saying you suck. It's just people saying, like, I don't like this. This was wrong. This was right. And it's even happening in our Discord, too, where we'll have immediately after a show a couple people trying to share what they liked, and then a couple negative people come in and then say all the things they didn't like, which then takes over the conversation and drowns out the people who are having fun. And we need to change that as a community because we are small. We are a very small community. So I'm trying to put this on you guys a little bit, and like, we're working really hard, and Emily and I are trying to like answer everyone's questions. We take so much time. We may not answer you on Reddit or on Twitter or something, but we read everything. And we want to make the channel better. And now, a producer friend would tell me, you're listening to the audience too much. Ignore them and push forward. Don't even listen to them. But we don't want to be about that. Yeah. We do want to listen. And we want so bad to make this the best that we could.
And we will make it through. It's just kind of hard to, like, see the right way right now, I think.
Yeah.
I absolutely believe we'll get through it. It's just, working out a way to communicate. And sometimes, like, if there's something that really bothers you, say what it was, why it was, and what we can do about it.
Yeah.
That's a really nice way to word out what it was that made you feel uncomfortable, why.
But from a public standpoint,
and then what we can do about it. Like that, if once you make those 3 steps, then that's, it ends on a positive note. You express your ideas, why it made you feel a certain way, and it's personal, and then we can help resolve it. That's a helpful way to make feedback.
Okay, so one reason people may be nitpicking more than praising is a lot of us come from GNS and we're used to the echo chamber of you guys rule, and we aren't aware of the negative impact that nitpicking is having. Well, and that's the thing, is like, we're just really small. and it is different. We want feedback, but public nitpicking hurts the channel a lot because we have to get new people.
And we also
in.
don't have anybody to sit there in forums constantly to like address and talk and
so
calm
once
it down,
something sat there for 6 hours and we haven't been able to get to it yet, now it's like other people have seen that, they've read it, and it's
grown
like,
and grown, and there's
and
no
it goes
way to
unintended, and it's just
de-escalate
like,
the situation.
It sucks for us because I think people sometimes see our production value, they see the kind of stuff that we're able to pull off, and they assume that we're much bigger than we are, and they kind of like see us as like the big dog, but we are so underdog in this world in the sense that we don't have any other source.
Which is we're gonna make it, but like it's hard.
Like when you think
but
about
it's
like
hard.
stuff like Machinima and IGN and their Twitch channels all failed, and they have giant outreach.
Yeah.
And we have no outreach, like literally none. And I don't know. It's defeating a little bit. It hurts us a little bit on the inside. Emily wanted me to say, tell them that they're hurting my feelings. And I was like, I'm not going to do that because you're not hurting my feelings. You might be hurting Emily's, but you're not hurting my feelings.
It's disheartening.
It's disheartening because you're just like, we're not this big corporation. We are literally the underdog trying to do stuff new. Thank you, Barefoot Jr. I'm still fairly new around here, and I have been having a bit of an adjustment period getting used to the RPG of it all. It's been an amazingly fun time, and I'm loving the learning. Oh, thank you for that.
Oh, awesome. Yay.
But basically, I think what we're trying to word is like, we do like that you guys are giving us feedback. We just have to be more aware as a community where we're giving it and how we're giving it. If people are having fun with the show in Discord, don't be that asshole that goes in there and tries to like kill the fun for everybody. We're a small community. That can really hurt us. Then you get a bunch of people who don't want to be a part of it because they feel like it's... And then don't go on... When you go on Reddit and do that stuff on our own Reddit page, and you're the only people talking, and it's just talking down what we're doing instead of like the fact that if new people were coming to the Reddit page, they wouldn't realize that what we're doing isn't done anywhere else on Twitch. We are literally trying to reinvent the platform. Positive feedback on it is great. Tearing us down for all the things you don't like, it just, I don't know. I mean, like, I guess I've said enough. Like, as a community, let's work harder on being more positive, guys.
Constructive,
and constructive.
positive.
And they do give a lot, believe me.
Yeah, no.
You guys give a lot.
Absolutely.
Like, we take that feedback too. Like, a lot of people said that Edge seems OP, and then they wanted stuff that was cheaper, so we tried on Valiant introducing a system.
I saw that the cumulative bright donations.
Attack of the Show does something like it. Guess what, Gamer and Me? I worked for Socialtron Live and set a lot of that stuff up. Socialtron Live turned into the Attack. Crazy how that works. And Geek and Sundry does it a lot too. Because I built that channel. But what we do is we interact more with the community, and we try to find ways for the community to change what's happening on the show. And nobody's doing RPGs like we're doing them, and I know that for a fact. So, whatever.
We'll see. We'll see.
We're working on it.
We'll
We're working
see.
on it.
Sure.
Now, Krellin, watch Vanquished. I mean, on primetime thing is, it's not my show. I'm here to support. So...
He still rolls like nearly ones.
Yeah,
Still,
yeah.
It's still you.
Does having so many shows on every day break the budget? No, it does not. We balance it out in a way that we put our cheaper shows earlier in the day when we know we're going to have less numbers. Our expensive shows are during the primetime spots for a reason. They're going to make the most money. But it doesn't hurt us necessarily if we're already paying people's day rates and salaries and everything to be here to stream shows earlier in the day when we might be able to get some new viewers, some new subscribers, and some new followers. If we were only doing primetime, we're missing out on a lot of opportunities to bring more people in. So...
Yeah,
but anything, whatever.
Berserk Chimera, same thing. Like I want to draw. I've been wanting to draw more. I've been wanting to 3D model again. A lot of it's because of this. Like I see Tony with his Vive and his ZBrush stuff. I'm like, oh yes, I definitely want to model now.
Yeah. Did we just have? Oh shit! I'm sorry, guys. I know something. Was it a resub or a follow?
I don't know.
Might have been a follow. I'm sorry. We got it switched now. I didn't have a hand in the attack, guys. What I did have a hand in is I helped Socialtron Live. Carlos was there. They were in Greg Grunberg's studio. When I left was right when it was making the switch to the attack. So you'll see a lot of similar kind of stuff there. Carlos is a great dude. White Wabbit! Thank you, White Wabbit! It was a follow. Gotcha.
Cool.
Here's my non-troll donation of the month. I trust you guys to run things, and Emily is a great community manager. I love the work you are doing, and I want to see you succeed.
Yay! Thank you. Is Emily still here?
No,
Damn
she
it.
went home
Just
a
gonna
while
scream
ago.
at her.
She went
Emily,
home
you're
earlier tonight. Thank you, Berserk. No, I mean, we don't necessarily, and thanks for that, but, and please understand, I'm not asking you guys to shower us with compliments. I just want to, for everyone to be aware, we have very little reach, and we are a small community, and as a small community, we got to really understand that, just think to yourself, if something's happening, and you're like, man, this really irked me, take a step back, think about it, message us if it's important, before you go and try to like harsh on everyone else's like good time. If you tune into like something and you see that a bunch of other people are enjoying it and you don't, maybe it's like, okay, it might not be for you, but that doesn't mean like nitpick it apart until it's your show. We're a community, so there's going to be certain shows that you don't like a little bit, and that's understandable. That's why we have a different show kind of every day of the week to reach a different subset of our already niche audience. So, you know,
That's pretty cool. We have a comic RPG. I think that's pretty cool. I've never seen
it's
or anything
different. Well,
about
that's
it.
why
It's
we
super
wanted to do
awesome.
it. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, Emily, for ignoring you. Jesus. Every time I think it's Joe, it's actually me.
Can you give us an average per show cost budget? I could if you wanted me to. I mean, obviously DFA is the most expensive. Like, it just is.
We wreck so many things.
Yeah. Any new show is expensive.
Not to mention those fumes that we're all breathing in. It's like
it's long-term
paying.
expensive.
We're paying
it's
so much.
long-term expensive.
And it's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay, well, now that that's out of the way, guys, we do love you. And I want you guys to know we do read everything. We listen to your feedback. We make changes where we can. Sometimes we have to understand in the background. We know better because we're the people who actually produce the content. Sometimes you guys have great ideas and we run with it.
Yeah.
But just try to trust us before you get super angry and try to kill everyone else's vibe. Like,
There's also a ton of stuff that we can't do right now because we're only 4 people. Like 4 people.
There's only 4 of
24/7.
us.
Yeah. So like,
And that
eventually
means we
we'll
don't
get there.
sleep.
Eventually
I
we'll
hope,
get there.
man. I hope.
Yeah.
And I've had a rough week because I think deep down that we're doing something really neat, and there are people who are realizing it. Like we had a meeting with Amazon recently that went really well.
Oh, cool.
But
Good.
it's like one of those things that might not pay off for a year and a half. And my thoughts when they were bringing all this stuff up was like, I don't know if we're gonna survive for a year and a half. Like seriously, like we've got to find reach somehow. We have to find like people. We're just so small. We're an upstart. We're a startup company. And I don't want to sit and complain about that. It's just extra important for startups to not just have
It's a different
support
kind of
from
challenge,
the people.
yeah.
We need to have support from a way that's like super inviting and fun and friendly. And we do have a lot of fun. Like that's the thing. We're doing shit nobody else does. So if you like it, that's amazing. If you don't like it, just realize that maybe it's just because it's different and you're not used to it. And step back a little and realize other people are enjoying it. So, Geek 40, you do a ton, man. You do a ton. You guys, and all of you guys
all
watching, you
do.
do so much. We're not asking you to do more.
Yeah.
This is on us.
We're just talking. We're
just
like just
talking.
throwing it out there.
We don't think you guys need to do more.
Yeah.
You're doing so much. Just try to be more positive in general when you're talking to the rest of the community.
We're just trying to redirect where that energy
Yeah,
is going.
redirect
That's
the
it.
energy.
You guys are doing great.
It's on us to find the reach. Like we're trying to come up with some like, I think the Necropolis event could be really huge for us.
We'll talk about my tattoos eventually. I promise.
Nice.
I promise.
Uh,
Jill asked earlier, where do I get my hair done? I actually do this myself. I got super mad with my big fuzz head that I was like, screw it. So I just sat there and I just shaved my own mohawk in. So
yeah. Okay,
Pays
so
off.
now that that's out of the way, hey, look at that, Mingar!
Hello.
Just subscribe.
Friend Computer welcomes a new
Fuck
bumper.
yeah, Mingar, thank you for
Science.
subscribing. You know what? So I had a thing I wanted to do tonight. Emily's gonna hate me because we're giving away a lot of stuff lately. Oh, you get to name what is that?
You don't know about that?
No, I don't know
No,
about this.
what
Come
is
tell
that?
me. Hop out here. Okay, you get to Mingar's. What is Mingar's position on the Ojimbo?
you are like the official Hongbao deliverer.
The what?
It's the Hongbao, like Hongbao.
Sorry, I don't
Hongbao?
have my
Hongbao, yeah.
camera-ready face.
Which is important because I
But,
freaking love my beef buns, so that's a very important position.
Yesterday, when Marie Poole, CEO of Lone Shark Games, came on Grab Bag yesterday, she left 2 copies of The Maze of Games, and she's gonna get them autographed by Mike Selinker and Pete Venters, the
Nice.
illustrator. And this is an incredible book because each page is a puzzle.
Oh, what?
And it's like
Oh,
one of
wow.
those things. Yeah, it was kickstarted successfully.
Whoa.
And a lot of people, they have this and they do one, before they go to bed, and it's just a really beautiful, rich gem of a puzzle book. And they're all different kinds
It's
of
a
puzzles
lot of
too.
pages. Holy
Mazes, crosswords, mysteries, word search, things that don't have names, things with math in them, things with strategy, things with, look, there's like music notes on this page, a bit of disorganization. And then there's also an overarching narrative. So there's 2 copies of this, and she's gonna ship them for us.
She's gonna ship them.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So we need to make this some sort of goal giveaway on the channel.
Well, she said that if we got subs during Grab Bag, that she would give them away. That didn't happen.
Yeah, hard to get
Yeah.
new people watching on that one. We haven't found the audience for that yet. Because I think it's a cool show. I think it's a great show.
Thank you. I try. I am going to submit a panel for it for PAX Dev.
Nice. So,
There's no puzzle I can't beat. So there are some really tough ones in here that are going to take a while for you to crack. Yeah, it's like the really cool version of those Mensa books. Exactly. Thanks, Space Cat.
okay. So, we will try to figure out a way to introduce these on the channel and give them away with
And
some
they
sort of
gotta
goal
get
for a certain
autographed.
show. I think these should stay as goals for Grab Bag.
Okay.
So
we're
we'll
gonna
leave
stay
these for
Grab
Grab
Bag
Bag,
goals.
so where if we hit like a certain donation amount or a subscriber goal,
Yeah.
we can
Okay.
give these away on Grab Bag.
Beautiful.
That way
Cool.
it supports that show.
And also, our friends at Cherry Pick Games were willing to ship a copy of Catalyst, their
Mm-hmm.
game, as well. Those might be also another Grab Bag giveaway.
Alright guys, like don't stress with all that feedback. Like don't worry about it. Like
Yeah,
comments
let's
are there.
move on.
Don't worry
Move
about
on.
it.
Go forward.
It's
Move
not about
forward.
it's not about fixing stuff behind.
This
Like
is Malika's yoga time.
Yeah, small
yoga
fry, like,
and stretching.
it's cool. It's cool.
All
The
of
advice
that.
is there. We got the grain of advice.
No,
that can
and
happen.
small
Don't
fry,
worry
we
about it.
understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And that's not the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the overall. If you go to a Reddit page and most of it is complaining about the channel, that is what the problem.
We're
is.
just talking about from this spot
From
right
a
now
marketing standpoint.
onwards. Like
Let's be
we'll
positive.
We'll adjust, and that's fine. Don't worry about the past. Internet, it will fix itself. Positivity will outweigh the bad eventually.
So tonight on this show, I'm gonna set it a little high for subscribers. If we get 10 subscribers tonight, which is a lot, I don't think we'll do that. But it's cool to shoot high. Or $100 donated during the show, I will give away these 2. So this is the Valiant role-playing game, the first edition, and then the expansion, Transcendence Edge, which has extra characters, new rules, and all that good stuff. So both of those in one giveaway if we get up to 100 during the show or 10 subscribers. We've got
That's pretty
one, so
cool.
9.
I just recently got like the Exalted 3rd edition, and like having core handbooks is really great. Did I go to art? I had an art degree. I didn't
Me
go
too,
to
dude.
art school. I didn't go to art school though. But I did have an art degree. It was great. It was an interesting experience.
I didn't go to art school either. It's state school.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes
Okay.
I like going to state school for art better because they teach you more fundamentals. Whereas
And I can take a class on dinosaurs.
the DeFreeze, thank you for
Friend Computer
subscribing.
welcomes a new
Yes,
bumper
subscriber!
for science.
Wow. The
What
DeFreeze.
jobs on a ship?
I think DeFreeze needs to be running the radiator
It's true.
and radiator repairs. The DeFreeze, you are on radiator repairs.
You keeping us warm. Warm
Or
and
cool.
cozy. Cool.
Cool.
Cool. Oh, DeFreeze.
Yeah. Yeah. So I actually because I thought long and hard about that before I went to school for art. I looked at art schools and I looked at the people coming out of them, and I looked at state schools as a start in doing. I wanted to get my master's, and I liked a lot more that what came out of state schools that had good reputations.
Yeah.
Because they taught you more fundamentals, whereas private art schools had more of a reputation on the line, and they tried pushing style on you before I thought you were old enough to understand what your style would be.
Yeah.
Like when you're 18, you're not ready to know what defines you as an artist.
Then you're DeviantArt. It's great. It's wonderful.
Yeah, right?
It's all the wonderful things that are there, you know?
And I was like,
Yeah.
I knew, because I didn't get it in high school especially, I needed fundamentals.
Same. Oh, yeah, same.
And fundamentals really get hammered into in state school.
Yeah.
I drew so many still lifes.
God, yeah. My favorite classes are taught by a professor who did, like, figure drawing, plant drawing, animal drawing. And then I graduated, and I was just hanging out for, like, quarter later, and he like emails me. He's like, "Hey, monster drawing's happening. Do you want to join?" I'm like, "Yeah!" So I got to sit in on our free class after graduating.
Nice.
This was super fun. Yeah, monster drawing. It was great. But yeah, like I already knew how people looked, but then learning how skeletons work and learning the rules of drawing and painting is like, this sucks. But then you gotta learn the rules to break them. So.
Yep, I agree. I completely
You have
agree.
to know the rules. You can't just freaking break rules. Like, who cares? Like, if you look at Picasso too, like. Probably
Dude
one of my
was
favorite
drawing
artists.
such amazing shit at 14
Oh
years
my
old.
god, he's amazing. He's
Yeah.
freaking genius. And then he just went into like exploring shapes and emotions.
He can
instead.
do a line drawing of a butt when he's drawing perfect photo representations
It's
at 14.
amazing. His real life, his like still life sketches are beautiful. That guy's insane.
Guys, we are technically $75 away from the book giveaway or 8 subscribers, one or the other.
That's how many
Eldridge Prowler,
$5.
thank you for following. Very much appreciated. Thank you for that follow. Those follows mean a lot to us. Getting us well on our way to 9,001 followers. Do you know about this?
No.
When we get to 9,001 followers, we're going to work with Bandai Namco to do a Dragon Ball Z themed event.
Oh my god.
Because, we're over 9,000.
It's
Stupid
important, guys.
internet memes, but it's fun.
It's gonna
fun.
be great. It's gonna be great. Oh my god.
Can you buy
That's
the
gonna
art
be
you
so cool.
guys do on this channel? Viking Lass sells her art on eBay. Do you sell your sketches on Etsy or eBay?
No, yeah, I'm trying to find a
probably
way. I'm
should.
trying to find a way to sell my sketches. I do want to make a
should.
sketchbook. Sketchbooks are hard, but I really want to get my stuff together on Society 6 and to sell them on bags and stuff. So it is in the works. You guys will know about it for sure. Definitely makes you just want to like scan everything. So I'm looking through all this stuff. I'm like, I could sell this. People want this. People want this. So it's really great. It's actually really great hearing from you guys. Just
So
people
somebody
love my art.
was saying we should unlock at certain sub goals wallpaper stuff. Zargaros, $2 here.
Okay.
Thanks, Zargaros.
Have fun forging.
Zargaros, why are you giving us $10? You
Here,
work for
have
free
money.
here.
I'm hungry. Going to go find food now.
Thank you, Zargaros, but you're an idiot. Don't give us money. You work for free.
What did I want to do as an artist? Originally, I know how to do video games. I still do. I thought I could do concept art, but then I realized later I don't have the mindset and the thought pathing to be a concept artist, be a successful one. Like I can create stuff, but there's so much more. Yeah. There's so much more that goes into creating worlds and environments and creatures, characters, backgrounds. It's insane. Like it's insane. I like making character art, so it's creating creatures, creating people, or taking like the 2D images and making them into 3D, like giving them life. That's cool. That's super cool.
I'm not gonna lie. There was a part of me that's like, I want to describe these characters well enough that you'll want to draw them. When I was doing Vanquish, I was like, I want to describe these in a way that Steph wants to draw them.
Yeah, I might do like a character art.
Freeze, $5. Thank you so much.
I want to help. I dare you to hug the camera and give
Don't go
some
out of
love to
focus.
this amazing chat.
The DeFreeze wants me to hug the camera. Miss Cashew, thank you for that.
Yeah!
Woohoo!
Keep going, guys. So
Hashtag
close.
as
Getting
technology likes comic books and coffee and comics.
Me too.
So we've raised 50. We're halfway there. I will hug that camera whenever we get to the 100.
It'll be worth it. It'll be so worth it.
If you don't mind, I'd like to offer Vanquish criticism. I really think there's too many roles for super minor things that drags on the native roleplaying. Okay, Hunter, here's the thing. I've heard your damn complaints for 3 days!
Hello.
Combustible Coal!
Friend Computer welcomes a new thumper.
Thank you for
Hey,
subscribing,
thanks,
Combustible
Hunter!
Coal! Ooh, now it's a race. Who's gonna get their first subs, or who's gonna do it first?
Are you guys gonna run by sandwich? Come on.
Combustible Coal, thank you. Okay, here's the
Sandwich race.
thing with the dice thing. And this is the thing about the whole, like, constructive feedback thing. I have heard from over 60 people complaints about that show. Over 60. Between my Twitter, Reddit, and messages in chat, and on Discord. So, can you imagine how exhausting that is for me for a show that only has 270 people? We get it. We so what I will say that, no, Hunter, don't feel bad.
Still
Zargaras,
hungry.
shut the fuck up and
Forgot
get
to
out
add
of here. Get
hashtag
out of here.
Go eat. Oh my
Get out
Mitsuha.
of here,
Go
Zargaras. Go eat. Okay, so what I will say, Hunter, is, and I also said this earlier today, it's a new system. It's a new system, and I understand that you guys think we roll too much die. We meet, and I understand that, Hunter. It's totally fine. I get it. I'm mainly fucking with you because I want you guys to understand what it's like for me and the other people who work here when it's just like, slam, 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 and like we know.
You all care at the same time, yeah.
And it's,
yeah,
it's like
it
we
is
know
great.
you care, but it's like one of those things about.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
We are 1 penny away from doing the giveaway.
Did I do it right? No, short a penny. Dang. Hash said or dash crup.
No, you guys are great.
Okay, so here's what people don't know. When you're doing a game like that, we are aware, and we meet as a group before the show and after the show. And then I also meet with a lot of other people in the chat room, and I read stuff without them knowing and all this stuff. The other thing is, it's a new system, and that system has very few roles. Well, there it is. Now it's pushed over. Oh, nice, Wilder. Well, I
Funny
guess time to do a
thing,
giveaway.
I used to not want to watch tabletop games like Battletech or even Warhammer. Until this channel, my interest was raised by the channel hashtag Horizon.
Oh, again.
I don't even know. It hasn't gone off screen yet.
I grew up with Battletech and Shadowrun. I love that there is a channel that is somewhat dedicated to it.
Whoa.
Hashtag
nice.
Aries.
Thank you.
Oh, you guys are awesome.
Everybody thought that they were going to be that one person that put it over,
You all were. Oh my god.
which is great.
It's so awesome.
All right, we're going to do a giveaway, guys. Be active in the chat.
Hashtag Aztec to the
Active
rescue.
in the chat, guys.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this.
Your favorite.
Warning, warning, big donation. Warning, warning, big donation. Warning, warning, big donation. Warning, warning, big donation. Hype.
Hug the camera, Zach. Hug it real good.
So good. So good.
I'm waiting for people to be active.
I'm super glad you guys really like the Battletech. That makes me really happy because I like for the first few weeks had no idea what I was doing, obvious or not. And Shadowrun's pretty rad. Oh my god, I think I tuned out right when Cromwell jumped off the mystery floor into the pool. That was great. I was like, you didn't ask what floor you're on. I'm like, oh no.
I think of all of our hosts, you watch more of our programming than any other host.
Really?
If you want to be totally honest.
Oh wow.
You're always more aware of everything else going on in the rest of the channel than everybody
Oh yeah,
else.
because I always
Which
have, like,
makes me really happy.
No, I always have like two things going on at once. I always have honesty hour because I'm either like stitching, drawing, or doing something else while it's running. Always.
Guys, the winner of these two books is JWild37. Thank you, JWild37, and thank you guys. We love you guys. I know I'm yelling at you tonight, but we really do love you. But, okay, so let me write this down. Valiant RPG books winner.
That's super awesome. Yeah.
I'm just giving Emily more stuff to ship, so deep down she's like,
Congrats, J-Wild.
yay, but fuck you, Zach. I owe the camera a hug, apparently. Come on, guys. Here.
Big
here.
hug. Come on, guys.
Here.
You have to hug back.
Here.
Hug back.
Here.
You see the face he's making. It's great. It's so great.
Alright, dickheads. Alright, anyway. Okay, so, going back to that point, going back to the point about the dice roll thing. So, what people don't realize sometimes, and that's the thing too, like when I said we're a small community, we've empowered you so much that when there's like a small problem with something you don't like, you guys think
Bye,
that it's
Matthew.
like really, like, what's the right word? Important for me to know, which I get. But it's a, when we have only like 250 people watching a show and around 60 people in different forms or ways complain about stuff on the show, it makes you feel like the show's a failure.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Maybe not complain. We can make more criticize.
Well, like criticize
There
and
you
take
go.
it down.
Yeah.
It's like, well, these are all things that we're aware of on the show. What they're not aware of is why those decisions were made.
You guys aren't whiner. I hang out with whiners. I make coffee. I hang out with whiners all the time. You guys
It's
have
not
whiners.
whining when
Yeah,
one
it's
person says,
criticism,
I don't
yeah.
like this thing about it. When you have around 60 people all saying all the things they don't like about
It
it,
gets overwhelming.
then it's extremely overwhelming.
Yeah, it's just overwhelming. It's not
When
like
it's
we
like,
don't want to
what
listen
the fuck
to
do
it.
you guys expect? It's the
Yeah.
second show with a bunch of people who've never played together before, literally their second time ever playing. So, anyway, but what I'm trying to say is we're always working on it. We're always trying to make it better, and a lot of people don't realize that there's things at play that they don't fully understand. That's the problem with doing something as a production. And that's probably true too, White Rabbit, that they are used to being smaller voices in a much larger crowd. We have a much smaller audience, so
Everything's
everyone is
loud,
really loud.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh my god, this is overwhelming.
Yeah, so just know, like, for us, it's just like hearing that feedback all at once is just like it's like having a wall just hit you in the face. You're like, okay, hang on. So we need like a second to like, get a second
and
win
we know,
and be like,
we
okay.
know before you guys
Yeah.
do. We know before you guys do. Thank you, Hunter.
Woo, sweet.
Oh yeah, you should come
Thanks.
back to watching paint dry again.
Battletech brought me to Hyper RPG, and I've stayed for everything else. Having Steph on watching paint dry is always fun, too.
Oh, thanks, sister.
So like with the dice thing, we were trying out a new system. The thing is, this system in itself is very vague, extremely vague. And so, being only our second time doing the show, and our second time of those people playing, and like 2 people on the show have never even played role-playing games before.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's a lot of things we're testing, and we're testing out stuff to see how the audience reacts to it. And we can test that in more ways than just you guys' feedback on Discord and in chat and messaging us. We can also test it from, are also testing it because we can base it on when donations come in, when our peaks happen, and what things are happening in the show. Like, we test and look at all of those things. So, the idea with we tried a different style this time, and it's usually because the audience complains a lot about one thing the week before. So the week before, everybody complained that I was railroading a little too much, and that I was driving the story too far forward. So it was like, well, let's try a different style and see how it works. So this time it was, let me sit back a lot more. And in that instance, with our players being really new, and not to mention, like, me not really knowing, okay, if I'm sitting back, how do we drive them along without awkward silence? It's also frustrating for players because they're not used to being in a situation where you're live on the internet.
Yeah.
And the second you don't know what to say, you've got dead air. And that creates awkwardness on the channel.
I do have one thing to say before that. Joe, it's not about how long it takes to dry, just don't eat the paint. Someone asked me about the shirt. It's from Natalie Hall. She has a Society 6. Like, go check her stuff out. She's a freaking cool artist. Like Hall, Hall. Another one cool thing was doing Strix's Monster Hearts and like learning how to build a world that way, and also watching her like have a goal for like the session to like, I guess, you know, kind of figure out where that plot's supposed to go, and just kind of coasting and seeing where you're supposed to go. And at one point you can tell she kind of forces it and just goes, so are you done? Are you done?
Yeah, yeah.
You gotta keep going. You don't want
That's
that.
yours.
That's mine.
This one's
You don't
mine.
want this. You don't want this.
Basically,
Yes, Natalie Hall.
Basically where a lot of the rolling was coming from on that day is like, okay, we can't have awkward silence. So we're using the rolling, and this is something we discussed, is like, we're using the rolling to move things forward when there's that little bit of second of them going, I don't know what to do next. Next week it will be different. And you know what? The week after that it'll probably be different again because it's a new show, and we're constantly moving things forward.
And also with new RPG players too, like, I didn't know how to ask questions until like a year and some months after. Until I started playing Battletech, until I played Monster Hearts with Strix. Like, I did not know how to ask questions. I did not know how to like fuck around with the world that's given to me until like way later. It took a long time to learn how to play
Berserk,
RPGs.
Chimera says that we should just tell everyone we're testing. Then we would say that every day before every single show, because we are constantly testing, reorganizing, reworking everything.
And if we say it every
How many
time-
times have we changed DFA
Well, also,
for you guys?
when we say it every time, it just sounds like we don't know what we're doing. We're
Right.
just like, we are playtesting, because in a sense,
we are professionals,
you know, yeah.
but we are still always testing this stuff. We've had you guys try different tactics on DFA constantly. Sometimes audience knows it. Sometimes They don't. So,
And in that earlier time, we didn't know how to communicate it. I think we're a little better about it with Shadowrun. That's when they were talking about, it's a new Edge thing. We're doing something different, or even in Valiant, it's like, hey, we're doing something different today.
Well, the Valiant thing should be a given because it's like, hey guys, this is a new show.
Yeah.
This is the second week.
No one's done this before. We don't know what we're doing.
Yeah. Like, it's a new show and it's second week and it's a really open
Good night,
system.
Terror Trooper.
We're gonna test some stuff. We'll be testing for a little while, guys, until it naturally fits.
And you guys are gonna help us out the entire time. That's gonna be the best
we also
part.
did that
It's
on Shadowrun.
chaotic.
I mean, Shadowrun changed. So if you go back and watch the first episode of Shadowrun and then watch it now, completely different show for the better. And that's why we want you guys to trust us. Every single show has gotten so much better.
I think you guys do. Otherwise, they wouldn't be giving the criticism and feedback. It just is.
No, I know
hard
they
all at
like
once,
it, and
right?
that's why they're
Okay.
giving stuff. It's just like you said, it's extremely overwhelming when you're like just hearing what people don't like. And the thing is too, what people don't realize is it's all very different. So you'll have a couple people say, I hate the dice rolls. And then you have other couple people say, you're DMing too much, let the players run the show. And then you have other people say, you're doing this too much, don't do that. And it's like, why does everyone think that they're the producer of the show? And they're giving me notes as if they're my director. Like, they're literally coming into these conversations as if like, okay, look, you've had a good run so far. But here's the thing.
Do better.
Here's what you need to do. And I get that we've empowered you guys so much.
Yeah.
We're always trying to fix it. And I'm done. We need to move the fuck on. Cause we
Yeah,
could,
yeah. This is gonna be the same thing over and over again.
And honestly, I would recommend for the Valiant show, guys, watch for the story. Watch for the story. The mechanics for that system are really simplified to the point that even says in the rulebook, make stuff up. You know what I mean? Like, it literally says, make stuff up.
Oh wow, cool.
So, because they're like, this is really open for a reason. Make stuff up. And when I met with Catalyst before the show started for hours and went over, like, here's all these different scenarios, here's all these different things that might happen, how would it handle and everything, it's just like, hey, whatever works for the story, just make it up, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
just do it. Just
and it's
pull it
funny
across.
how the people who write the books can say that. And it's the same with, like, even when I would talk to Wizards of the Coast about D&D and stuff, too, they would just be like, make shit up. Like, whatever, it's a guidebook, it's not official rules, but you still have people rules lawyering you and saying, like, oh, you did this in the wrong spot, you can do this here, this is how you do
Advantage,
this.
disadvantage. That's like even we got confused for the longest time.
So basically, watch for the story, that's what's important, and that's what we're working the hardest on as a group when we meet with people. That's what we're working on.
And Minker, where's I from, Wisconsin? I was born in Racine, which is like on the bottom bit of that state. I don't remember much because my parents moved away when I was 9 months old, so
Oh,
I don't
damn.
remember anything.
Wait, so you're... Okay.
I'm from Wisconsin.
You just unpacked a whole bunch of shit. This is the best way for us to get off of the,
I'm
like...
ready to get off of it. So someone asked, and Minker asked, where I was born, where in Wisconsin. I was born in Racine, but I don't remember anything, because, like, when I was 9 months old, my parents were like, oh, we found tech jobs in the Bay Area, so they moved out, and I grew up in Walnut Creek, and in the Bay Area, Vallejo, all my life, 20 years. So there was, like, that
So wait,
one...
you said your parents left... Wait. They left Wisconsin. When you said your parents left when you were 9...
No.
It sounded like... I was like, whoa, hold on, let's go back
No,
a little bit.
my life is really just nice and
Okay.
not that exciting. So there was like that one battle we had in those rolling hills, and I was like, oh, hey, it looks like Walnut Creek, and like Tyler had actually made it look exactly like Mount Diablo and everything, which is really, really funny. Hilarious inside joke.
You mentioned to us once before. Why don't you go ahead and tell the story again about how you came to be on DFA?
DFA, okay. Tyler messaged me, but I first met him 12 years ago. That was like the introduction on the first episodes. Like 12 years ago, I jumped out of a bush in front of him. So it's true. It was after Japanese class, and I was walking down a hallway, and I heard my friend talking about Metal Gear Solid with some person, and there was like a little walkway between two bushes, so I just darted out of it. So it just looked like I jumped out of a bush. So it doesn't matter how I tell that story, I jumped out of a bush at Tyler. And then that's how we became friends. He actually is the one who convinced me to move out here. He came out here and started working for Nintendo, I think, at the time. And so I came out here to visit once or twice. He's like, you need to move out here, it's video games, cool stuff, cool people live here. So I finally did. I met a ton of cool people from ArenaNet, like, my second month here, which was insane. I don't know how that happened. It changed my life forever. Like, I grew as a person, I became a better artist because of that. It was really, really awesome.
So you're currently working as a barista? Mm-hmm. Where?
Over at the Central Bakery in Madison Valley.
I
I've
don't
been
even know
doing.
where that is.
Yeah, I know. It's this hilarious little spot past the hills, and it's called it's named
What do you mean the
itself
hills? Where the fuck are the hills?
like Capitol Hill.
Okay.
Capitol Hill. So if you keep going past it,
Wait, you keep
for
going
more
east
neighbor-
towards the water?
Yeah, towards the arboretum and stuff.
I don't know what that is.
So farther inland away from Pike Place. So you keep going farther inland, and it's like this little tiny neighborhood called Little Paris. It's like that's
Really?
how uptight
I went to
and white it is.
Malika and I went to Capitol Hill last weekend for our anniversary, and we went by this little vegan shop in that area.
Plum?
But
Like
maybe that's it.
Truth be told, Hyper RPG lately has been my escape from reality during some troubling times. So I have to thank all of you for that. I want this channel to be around for years to come. By the way, hashtag American Express only, please.
that was
Yeah.
sickeningly good.
Big Slothers, thank you for following.
Thanks for following.
And honestly, guys, that's why we're here. We want
Yeah.
to get real with you guys every once in a while and be friends for you, but that's what I mean about feeling like this weird thing where you guys are treating us like this big corporation. We're playing role-playing games for you guys on the internet for fun. That's what we're here for. We want you to have fun. We want you to escape life, escape reality. Don't argue realities with us and whether or not it fits into what your perception of is. If you watch a show and you've had a good time, congratulations, we've succeeded.
Yes.
That's what we need to know. Did you have fun? That's what we're here for.
And we're
We
still
want you guys to have
going,
fun.
so clearly you guys did, and we're still here, so...
Well, we did have a starting budget.
That's true. We had help, I guess, from HBS. I guess.
We had a starting
That's true.
budget.
That's true. I have no idea.
There's a time limit on
there
that
was
shit.
there was fog and then there was magic, so we had to...
There's a time limit on that shit. It's like, obviously we're still here, so it's all going really well. Like, no, we got to grow a lot. We have to grow a lot.
Yeah. We're at that point, that outreach is what you said, yeah. Working on it. I gotta get those flyers out because I live next to a bunch of comic book stores, so it's really great.
Cool. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
there's comic book stores in that neighborhood? Mm-hmm. No way.
I'll give you a list. I'll give you a list later.
Yes,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I need I want to go check out more comic book places.
I'll give you a list of cool places for sure.
Okay, so how long have you lived in this area, like this part of the country?
I've lived this part of the country.
Pacific Northwest.
Pacific Northwest. All my life grew up in the Bay Area, so 20 years in California. Went to school in Santa Barbara. That's cool. And then left.
Santa
straight
Barbara's
to,
so pretty.
Holy crap! Yeah, I miss.
I
those
filmed a couple
beaches.
movies out there.
I miss
just
those
so
beaches
pretty.
so much. I could walk out to tide pools. It was amazing. I have a really gross whale story too. There's this baby sperm whale that washed up on the shore and rotted away. It was really awful. It smelled so gross. But people, you had to go visit.
Yeah.
There's a dead whale. You're gonna go freaking visit. And some guy decided to go take a picture next to it and lean on it and fell in. So he got taken. Yeah. So he got taken to the hospital. Another guy in the dead of night tried to
It
take
didn't
some
explode,
teeth.
did it?
It did not explode. Oh god, no, it didn't explode. Thank God. That would have been horrible.
I've had dead animals explode.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
here's
scary.
a bad story. Here's
Yeah,
a bad story. When I was a teenager / young college student, I was a piece of shit. And I don't mean that mean to other people. I was just bored out in the country. We did a lot of fucked up stuff because we were bored and out in the country. And stuff now when I think about it, I'm just like, wow, I hope I don't ever have kids that are that stupid. But when I think I was 18 or 19, my best friend and I, my old Land Cruiser didn't have a top on it. And we would fuck with each other a lot and just, we wouldn't harm anyone else, just each other. Mm. And we were, I wouldn't say daredevil is the right word. We just had very little, I had just kind of gone through all my condition kind of stuff. And I was going through a weird phase where I was in constant chronic pain, so it was just kind of fuck it, I'm not going to take care of my body. I'll start skateboarding and doing really dangerous
I'll break
stuff.
all the things,
Fucking-
whatever, yeah.
Fuck
whatevs.
it. I'm not going to break anything, it'll just dislocate and I'll be okay. Fuck it. And we were, that led to all sorts of other stuff, but this instance we were just there was this armadillo on this one road that had been there for a long time. It's August in southern Missouri, so it's 100 degrees. And this thing, no road crew was cleaning it up. And then every day you drive by it, it'd be a little bit more swollen, a little bit more swollen. And then one day my friend said something to piss me off. And he was in my Land Cruiser and he was wearing no shirt because we were rednecks like that. And he had nipple piercings too. And and he had his leg out the vehicle like this. Because I had these vents on the side that you could put your leg on. So he had his leg out the vehicle and he was leaning back in the seat. He was smoking his cigarette as I was driving, and he said something to piss me off, so I swerved on his side, hit that armadillo, it exploded, and sent entrails all the way up down his leg, hitting his chest. He immediately vomited in the front of the vehicle. I was laughing so hard I almost wrecked the car, and then I had to drive into a car wash right down the street and like hose it, like spray him down and spray out the inside of the vehicle, all the while laughing so hard.
Hello. Friend Computer welcomes a new thumper.
Thank you so
Press
much.
delete.
Ella Sarm, it's your turn. Give him a position on the ship.
Oh my god. We got Salty Non, you're Mr. Non, or Sir Non. We'll say Sir Non.
Sir Non.
Sir Non.
Sir Non on
Help
the
with the Non.
Yojimbo.
Help with the Non.
So
What's up?
we did a lot of fucked up stuff like that when I was younger because we were
Yeah,
bored out in the middle of nowhere.
I haven't had an animal explode. You've seen the exploding whale from Iceland, right? Like
Yeah.
the one where they're gutting it. That sound is amazing. What the hell? Holy crap! That could have killed somebody too.
Yeah.
Scary stuff. But no, someone fell into
Alara's
it.
arm. Alara's arm. Just subscribe.
No, sweet. Just please. How do we feed it? Oh god, it's gonna.
We
eat
have
everything.
one more still, a Steam Key giveaway.
Whoa, hey guys. But yeah, in the dead of night, someone also tried to steal. So back on the dead whale story. Sorry, my brain tangents.
Yeah.
But in the dead of night, someone tried to steal some teeth and got arrested for poaching. Because it's illegal. It's illegal to take like whale bones.
Oh, yeah.
Ivory. Oh, so that was funny. College kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite food to eat. Oh god, I eat everything almost. I will always try everything at least once, and I give things multiple chances. Like olives, I hate olives, but I will always try an olive to see which one is the best one.
Did we not get a position for combustible coal?
Oh no, I don't.
I think. Well, I mean, obviously he's going to be in the steam engine room.
combustible coal.
Combustible coal, you're running the steam engine. Thank you for being a part of the Yojimbo. So
We have like a very specific, steam.
yeah.
Steam in the future.
Okay, so you've been in Seattle for a little while now, up in the Pacific Northwest.
5 years, 6 years.
You're currently a barista. So you're an artist.
Mm-hmm.
Do you show places? Do you how do you approach being an artist? What
I
do you
had
do?
a big dead period for like the past 2 years where I just kind of stopped doing 3D modeling, just took a break from it. I had I was part of a show out in
We have a
Fremont at
steam
one
engine
point.
because I said so. Shut up.
That's true. Overlord made it
We have
happen.
a steam engine.
It just sits
Nah.
there. It just sits there
With
though.
a radiator.
So you just put coal into it. It does nothing but just shoot out steam. That's all it does. That's all it does. Hey, I need to make my lattes. So I need steam. I need a steam
There you
engine.
go.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, yeah.
All right, so yeah, how do you handle doing art? You went through a dry period.
Yeah, so now I'm just figuring out, I think I want to do more of, the Society 6, online, just selling my art that way, selling originals maybe that way. I don't know, I'm still trying to figure it out. That's something that they don't teach you in college.
No, they don't.
They don't teach you in college. You're supposed to get lucky and talk to your advisors, and I didn't. Yeah.
They don't teach you a lot of that kind of stuff, like how to be a business with art.
Yeah, and I was in
That's
Santa
unfortunate.
Barbara, which was, a lot of fine art galleries, and I did not want to schmooze with those people.
I ran a gallery for a little while.
That's fine.
It
if
was
it's a
the
good
worst.
one. Yeah, but
No, I hated it.
Really?
Part of the reason I
can't
stopped
schmooze.
being a part of the painting world is I fucking hated the bullshit of me having to wear tux or a suit. Wear a suit, talk to people with money, and try to... And the one thing I did like about it was how full of shit it all is. So it's I'd go through phases of liking how full of shit it was,
And then not having
and
time
trying
for
to
it.
play with it,
Yeah.
and other times being like, man, fuck this. It's such bullshit, and it wears you
It's
out.
what does your art mean? I'm like, I just draw monsters because it's the only way I can cope with being alive.
Well, it's so subjective. Art is so subjective that selling art, presenting art, convincing people to buy art is more about the psychology of how you present it to them than it is whether or not the art is good. It's about...
it's being a salesman. It's not even. It's part of it's have a skill maybe sometimes.
Well, there's there is a skill.
Yeah.
There's a base level. It's kind of like with a movie. There's a certain base level where the average person understands, is this good or is this bad? When it gets to the good part, whether or not someone is to love it is almost based more on the psychology of how you pitch it to them, how you convince them to enjoy it, and how you present it, how you envelop them in it. When it comes to food especially, when you think about different foods and stuff, once it gets to that good part, the rest is all the psychology of it.
Oh yeah.
Is
this
it's
worth $30? That kind of thing. Yeah.
And
oh
art
yeah.
is so full of shit. Art is so full of shit. I mean, you
There was-
spend a lot
there's
on
a
the
great-
time.
there's
There's a lot
really
of
good thing.
time. There's a lot of effort put into it. So it is worth something in that
Yeah.
it's your time and your effort and your experience. But convincing someone to buy it, all bullshit.
My favorite explanation of what art was like in an art and life class, where some guy was like, so what is art? Explain art. The guy was like, it's fart without the F, and they're like, okay, keep going. Like, why? It's like everybody does it. It comes from deep within. It goes out for others to experience, and some like it, some don't. So art is fart.
Art is fart.
Art is fart, man. That's how it works.
Salesman Zach
Loans,
sounds like an
yeah,
ass.
loans. College is for some people. College is like isn't for others. It's just you don't find out till
I regret
yeah.
it. I regret it. I
Money
loved
hurt.
undergrad.
Mm-hmm.
I learned
love
more
undergrad.
from undergrad. I'm getting my master's.
I didn't do
was
masters. I give up.
fucking mistake.
I can't. I could. Yeah. I think it's amazing you're master painting and everything.
I
That's
think it's
super
worthless.
Cool. Oh.
What? It's just debt.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing that I cured 120 grand in debt. Like, spooky kabooky.
Hello.
Subscribe.
Friend Computer welcomes a new
Stinky
thumper
giveaway.
Yeah.
Stinky giveaway. Spooky kabooky. You give him a position. I'll give away a Steam key.
You tug out all the mechs and the ships in our what's it called? I can't even come up with the name of these things. You just like kind of dolly out all our ships and all of our mechs when we need them.
You were the dolly mecker outer.
Outer. There you go.
You're the dolly
What do you
outer.
do for planes? I don't know. I'm bad with words. So bad with words. Key time! You guys did it! I wish I had a trade school. I do too. I actually, so when I came out here, I went to Future Poly, which is something that, because, video game, a lot of artists go and teach there at night after they're done with their day jobs. So I just took that for 3 months and I learned everything I needed to learn. And because it was so fast and I just went in blind. It was like, I wish I could have taken it another time, and I might take it again, just because it's like, oh, I know what I'm doing now. This is great. Yeah. 3 months. It just took 3 months, and I learned everything. I was like, oh, I can do everything from like 3D modeling to
Nice.
retopology to making maps, everything. I made a full model. It was great. Yeah, kind of like a valet.
Guys,
yeah.
remember to be
mech
active-
valet. How cool is that? A mech valet.
A mech valley.
Mech valet. Yeah, sure.
Guys, remember to be active in the chat. We only have 23 people that have entered so far, so be active in the chat if you want to have a chance to win a Steam key.
Yes, yeah, thanks in sets. So story. So start with this arm. This full sleeve was I walked into an artist I'd researched for about 2 years, and was like, I have these 5 things that won't fit on my arm, so help me. Which is kind of a fun way just to like get your tattoos. So I wanted we were talking about chrysanthemums, which I knew I wanted. Waves maybe. I loved mandalas, but that was something we couldn't fit in at the time just because those two styles don't really jive together. So we were discussing it. Got the
God damn
chrysanthemum.
it. I'm not even kidding.
What?
Sometimes I hate the randomness of I want to be able to control these giveaways sometimes, but I can't.
Chaos reigns.
White Wabbit, you are the winner of the Steam key.
Woo!
Bullshit. It's such
I hope you just never use it. Just let it sit there. Just love it forever. Just pet it and love it forever.
such bullshit.
Oh yeah, and with Green Eye Trombonist, some people just are able to manage it. I don't know how. Holy crap, so much work all the time. Yeah, so we talking about this. We settled on chrysanthemums. We were talking about waves, but I was like, okay, waves and flowers are boring, so put a snake in there. Put a snake in there, and then
Just put a snake on it.
put a snake on it. Put a snake on it. It's fine. Put a snake on it. I already have birds. It's fine.
Just put a snake on it.
So we're talking about this, and then he randomly suggested this artist out in Japan who does these really cool just pitch black backgrounds, and I was like, yes, this is what I want. So that's how this happened. Time-wise, this took 4 sessions, 9 hours. This was really fast. Got cut up so fast. Crazy. And chase him down. Used to give him the Dead by Daylight and just kill him.
Oh, that would be great. We don't have that key to give away, though.
Wah,
Speaking
wah,
of
wah.
Dead by Daylight, Iffy's Not Funny, which is Iffy Whataway, is going to be joining tomorrow night on our Discord to play Dead by Daylight with me as the killer. That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. I miss Iffy.
So you're gonna chase him down over and
I'm
over
gonna
again.
kill him. It's gonna be for all those times he showed up late, which was every single time we did anything. My dad was able to get his beer here, so he's got his homemade beer for the show tomorrow.
Oh, that's
night.
gonna be so cool.
Yeah.
Oh man, if I weren't playing D&D, I'd come by.
Can you hire Iffy? Iffy works for At Midnight and a bunch of other stuff. He's been doing really well. He's been showing up on a lot of TV shows lately. Why you gotta hunt down the black man, Zach? Great, you had to take it there. He's my friend. I want to murder him. Yeah, Iffy will figure out how to break the game somehow because he breaks everything. So, tattoos. How many do you have? Or do you kind of lose count?
I think I lose count, just because some of them were over. Like I got 2 in one sitting. Most of them are just like redone.
Yeah.
Stuff that I've designed.
Do they all have significance, or are some of them?
So this one I designed line by line. It's all mine. Some of them have significance. Some of them are just like super nerdy. I have this quote across my back as a joke. Well, it's across my shoulders. Because like, so I'm working in a bar, right? And everyone's just like, you're quick like lightning. Which I immediately think of Final Fantasy 13 and just like run a million miles with it, and I'm gone, and they're still talking about lightning, and I'm like, yeah, it's great, it's great. So I got something tattooed across my back. It's like, it's the inscription on her blade fire saber. This is one of my favorite nerdy tattoos. So I've got stuff like that.
Nice.
I've got things by artists that I really, really like. Monument Valley, so you can see stuff that I draw. Words, religion, cool stuff.
So you have a crow in there. Do you think that's why they attacked you?
No, it's babies. That's what I say, they're babies.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I thought at one point, since I was wearing like a crow skull necklace, they were just like, oh, you're awful, but a lot of times crows that dive bomb you is because they're being really territorial and they've got babies since it's springtime. They're such assholes.
All right. What else was nice? What else is going on in there? So yeah, guys, just a heads up. We will be playing Dead by Daylight again tomorrow. So if you want to play, what does Steph's Hebrew script mean?
So it's Emet, which means truth. There's a really cool golem story where a wizard writes truth across the golem's head to bring him to life. So it's kind of cool, you know, like a bit from Christianity, or just from Genesis being the breath of life. It's truth, and in order to decommission the golem at the end to kill it, you just wipe off the aleph, and then truth becomes death. It says Met, so I think that word is super cool. Structure
Nice.
is awesome. And then the aleph, so I was just like researching later on, why aleph, you know, what does it mean? So it's number 1, so it represents the oneness infinity of either the universe, God, whatever you want. It's also used in math for infinity sets, so it's like compounding. It's so pretty.
Right on.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna throw a random question out here. What's your favorite thing
By
about?
crows twice.
What's your favorite thing about role-playing gaming?
Oh man.
Like roleplay RPGs. What's your favorite thing about playing RPGs?
I like making character backgrounds. It's super cool. Just to create, I love creating like story hooks for my DM. Of creating intriguing situations. Playing the game, like I think I've learned how to enjoy it more, and being able to play with the world that's being created and being part of it. That's something I think I learned more recently.
Yeah.
That's super fun. And I get to do stupid accents. Holy crap. That was great.
Why didn't you decide to do an accent on DFA? Too serious?
That too, but like I didn't know enough about Rosselhog, where I was coming from, and I wouldn't even know by that time if there would be an accent, you know, in space. It just Americanizes everybody else who knows.
YOLO Swagwalker says, getting lost in another world
British.
without getting high as balls.
That too. YOLO Swagwalker. Also, getting high, like I just turned into a giant potato. It's not fun for me. So it is, you know, in a way to like just like coming out to this channel is like to kind of lose yourself and just kind of be somewhere else. It's like wow, but I get to actually do.
I mean,
cool
it really
things.
it's a trip. Mm-hmm. It is a weird trip. Like it's weird to sit back and think, oh, what's my job? This. Mm-hmm. That's a trip.
Yeah.
My whole life's been a trip, though. I've never had a normal experience with anything. I'm a really normal person.
I think for the first time, I get to get like paid and doing something that I enjoy doing. And that's cool. That's like a very alien thing to me.
Why is that alien? Do you need
coffee.
Coach Zach? Do you need Coach Zach to help you with some life choices here? That
Life
shouldn't be
choices?
that shouldn't be alien to you. Fuck everything else you're doing.
Oh no, I know. But it's like
Get paid. Only get paid to do things.
oh,
you
I
like.
know, which is why it's just like
You're
I'm
too
getting into
talented to
art.
not.
I know.
Fuck that stuff.
So much unused potential like pisses me off. Oh yeah, well like okay, so baristas, customer service, like
Hey, you be a bitch. Woo!
holy shit.
Thank you for existing as a channel. You are giving me a break from running for a public office and the stress of working 2 jobs and trying to start a film production company. So thank you, can have some of my money. Also, art is awesome.
Holy shit, thank you.
You will be
Oh my
avenged.
gosh.
Please tell us what kind of public office you're running for.
Yeah.
Because I want to figure out what it is and make sure you win. I mean, I have no power over things like that. I've never rigged votes for anything.
But
Win.
win better, do better. You will. Wait, what was I saying? Oh, so, well, customer service, everyone's like, oh, why are you doing it? Because you hate it. I'm like, because I haven't figured out how to make my rent pay for itself. But I still, like...
Yeah, it's tough. I mean,
Yeah.
I was like, I was homeless for a while when I was first trying to do art. I never got to the point of couch surfing. Wait, I'm lying. No, I didn't. That was in college, so I don't count that. I've gone. I mean, I have a lot of student loan debt, like so much. But I've been really specific with myself. Like, I'm not gonna have credit cards.
Oh, yeah.
But I know if I had
Yeah,
them,
I didn't. Oh,
I
God.
would be in debt. If
It's
I
so
had
dangerous.
them, I'd be fucked.
Yeah.
Because I've gone through so many stages in my life where it was just like, just doing the artist thing, where it's just like, all right, fuck everything else. I'm not gonna work. I refuse. I refuse to have a normal job in the sense of like, it's like I've spent my whole life
Like,
working on these
non-passion
talents.
related job, pretty much.
Well,
Yeah,
just
right?
because, and it's not so much about passion. It's about like, I owe it to myself with all the time and effort I
God,
put into
yeah.
something, to only accept that as a possible job function. To me, if I was to go take a job in something like a customer service job or a thing like that, it would be spitting on the face of the years of experience that I've built up on the other things.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's like you're overqualified for those
Oh,
things.
absolutely. Oh, my God. But, like, I did come out learning a ton of crap about myself and people, though. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I, for the most part, can get a lot of people to just do what I want them to do. In a good way. In, like, a good way.
I got that from running a dorm building in college.
See, yeah.
Like, it's that experience of like having.
I know how to
work
talk to
with
people who are like, this is the right way, I'm right, do it. It's like, okay. I'm like, score. That's it. Like, that's
you
it.
should do that with Mitch more.
Mitch?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, one time I was suggesting stuff about, like, you know, like, oh, this, you can roll for that. I'm like, no. I'm like, no, we're not, but I'll do this. That's fine.
And believe me, guys, I'm not saying that anyone watching is doing something wrong with their lives if that's what they're doing.
It's a personal.
It's more like, from
call.
my standpoint, if I've spent my whole life training for something and then I was to like give up on that.
You'll be avenged asking about the position.
Yeah, totally, dude.
Yeah.
I want to know. I'm not gonna give up on that. I owe it to myself to like keep pushing. Because I want, but I also want to know if I can do it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
my big thing. These guys might critique me. I critique myself so
Holy
much
shit,
harder,
yeah.
and I keep myself up at night.
I
like-
wake up at 4 in the morning. I'm just like, why am I not drawing? Why am I not drawing? So
Yeah.
like, it sucked every day. Every day.
I go
Holy
into the
shit.
Discord and then I go, Meh.
Yeah, no. Miss Cashew, don't worry about it. Age is like, no. Even like, okay, so Tyler, like, he went to college, dropped out for a bit, came back a few years later, finished, and then got a letter after walking that he was 4 units short of a degree, and just left without the degree because it's like, screw you guys. So don't worry about it, dude. Dude, person. Yeah, sorry.
Everybody's different.
Everybody's a dude. Sorry, I'm not even
It's
using
fine.
it as a gender thing.
California thing.
Yeah, it is. Oh.
I told somebody yesterday, I was like, I call everybody guy. That doesn't mean that I'm disrespecting or looking past your
Yeah.
gender or whatever. It's just like, it's the same as calling somebody dude or y'all.
Y'alls, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, hey guy. And I've gotten better at it because some people complain. Or when I say, hey guys, like I've honestly had people tell me, like, you shouldn't do that. That means that you're perpetuating this idea that women aren't as important. I'm like, No, it's semantics. It's
Yeah, I'm
just
sorry.
same as saying
Okay.
y'all.
Okay, yeah. Hey,
It's
humans,
about the intent
hi,
behind
humans,
it.
you're all humans,
I know.
right? Like,
I hate that sometimes. It's like, well, look at the intention behind
I
it.
respect you, but
It's
do you want me
intention.
like walking on coals all the time? Like, I don't want this.
It's
all
about
the time.
intentions. It's the word.
Yeah.
It's the feeling you put behind the words. Is what I'm always a big believer. in.
Like,
Which is really tough about the internet
yes.
because you can't read
Yes.
tone on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah, same. No, same. I've had like a few friends come out for like agender, queer, and whole spectrum, and it's always something where like, okay, you do know that I just say dude, right? And they're like, yeah, no, it's fine. So having that conversation, like, okay, we can move on and keep going.
Yeah.
You know? I think you do that.
I have had people that have told me, like, an ex-girlfriend of mine's sister was going through, like, a really pretentious art college and just went way off the spectrum in a lot of ways, you know, like, really far off of the...
Oh, yeah.
And was, like, dating this guy, and then... But then
Use
she
it
said
back.
both of us don't use gender pronouns. You're not allowed to say that we're a couple. We are... You know, it's like, I will respect as much as I can when in conversation with you, but please do not look at what I'm saying that has no offense on anyone and tell me that I'm saying something wrong. That's, like, to me, where it gets too far, is that kind of, like, I can respect what you want, and when I talk to you, I'll speak that way when referencing you, but if I'm in a conversation now with you, don't scoff at me for speaking to someone
Because
else.
not everybody's gonna know what
No.
Zay, Faye, you know, stuff like
No.
a lot of those terms.
It's, again,
just
to me, it's always
isn't
about...
out yet, you know, and we're working like that's
Earth
working on it.
Creations. Earth Creations. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna bring this
Well,
on.
to me, it's just about, again, it's always about intention to me. It's about the hurt you put behind a word. Because you can say something really hurtful without saying anything offensive at all. And mothers have been teaching us this for years. You can guilt somebody. You can make somebody feel really bad. You can diminish them. You can condescend them without ever saying anything that's technically offensive. But if you're talking to someone and you have the utmost respect when you're talking to them, semantics get involved. And that's why tone is so important. And I feel like a lot of the stuff that's happening right now is ignoring tone. That's why I don't understand, like, some stuff where it's like you have straight up idiots like Donald Trump who say shit and you're like, no, his tone is bad. His tone is bad. That's just like, fuck that dude. His tone is bad. He's just an asshole.
So scary, yeah.
But, you
What
know.
are you people censored?
Uh,
We're gonna Apache attack helicopters.
but that being said, did you want to talk at all about, like, that stuff? Like,
So, in light of everything that's happened the past like weeks, I think more than ever, people need to come together and have a conversation, and not like sit there and argue and like throw mean words at each other. It's like there's a difference between having two separate opinions, talk, come to this line and keep talking, and not try to push each other off and just stay there and understand this is where things meet and that's it. Like, two truths can always exist. It's like a facets on a crystal. Edges exist. Like, there are many truths. Holy crap. And, like, we all have a facet of that. We just need to learn how to talk about it and not be mad. Holy crap. Like, yes, like, your reaction's gonna be jerk reaction. Be like, I don't like this. I hate this. It's bad. But, like, you know, stop and think about it. Like, Trump supporters, like, they're afraid. I get that.
And
you know?
some of it's more complex than that, you
Yeah.
know, like...
Between, like, there's lots of stuff, like society, upbringing, views, religion, maybe. There's so much stuff, but in the end, it's, like, based on fear.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to die. Nobody wants to watch this world burn.
Well, that's the thing you and I talked about before the show just started. Like, to me, everything is about... Everyone at the end of the day thinks they're doing what's best. Some people have different definitions of what's best. So...
Like, humans have infinite potential, so I always see it. But it's always, like, both ways, and it's hard to tell which way you're going. And, like, I think we always want to try for good. We always want the best. We always want to be doing the best. Like, even, Westboro, like, oh, you're going to go to hell's because I want to go to heaven. That's why I'm trying to make you change by giving you death threats. Because somehow in my mind, this is what needs to happen. I don't know. Maybe
Well,
it's true,
it just
maybe it
makes
isn't.
both
But that's
sides.
what happens, I think. Like, you know, it just gets very skewed in very odd ways when everyone just wants a good thing, a good life.
Yeah, I think there was a great video that came out not too long ago that was like, they started off the video as a way to troll Trump supporters. And it was like Muslims for Trump or something like that. And then by the end of the video, they were like, okay, we have to kind of step back a little bit and realize we were wrong. because there were a lot of people at those rallies that actually did want to do good.
They were good.
They wanted to help make things better. They just don't know how. And I always try to explain that to people when I'm talking to them. It's like, coming from where I come from, like I said, there's a lot of bigots, there's a lot of people, but it always comes from a place of ignorance and fear, which is different than hate. It can lead to hate, but it's not hate yet. Now, people who hate need to be put in their place, and I mean that by saying they need to be taught how to not hate. But you have to get it before it gets to hate. And when it's ignorance, it's the perfect time to. So you have a lot of people who, they're just ignorant to other people's ways, and they don't really understand that what they're doing is hurtful to other people, because in their mind, they're only aware of their monkey sphere and what's around them and their community, their pack. And when they see their pack hurting, when they see their pack living in poverty, and it's like, one of the biggest things I never understood was how the impoverished black community, the impoverished white community don't get along when they're going through so much of the same shit. Now, what the impoverished white community doesn't realize is that even though they're impoverished, they still come from a place of privilege compared to the impoverished black man or woman. They just don't realize it because they're going through such hard times that to then be told that they're privileged, they're like, well, fuck you. I've got a brother that died of a meth addiction, and I've been living off like nothing, and there's no jobs in I grew up in that shit, and they're so similar. They're going through similar problems, and semantics and their wants and wishes get in the way, and they butt heads.
You lose sight of the bigger picture.
And you lose sight of the bigger picture of just like, you guys are in the same fucking boat.
Yeah, we're all suffering on the streets.
We're all suffering
be the way.
In the same
and
way.
And together, like, you can accomplish so much.
And at the end, they all just want things to be better. But the unfortunate thing is, because as creatures with empathy, it's hard for us to think past the empathy of what's right in front of us. And if what's right in front of us is our own family suffering and our friends, and they only make up a small percentage of the community of the country as a whole, we're going to think what's best for them should be what's best for the rest of the country. And that's the unfortunate thing.
There's a slide that I saw about mansplaining being like detrimental to men. Mansplaining is real. Coming from a woman, it's real. It's not saying that all men are awful. I'm hanging out with Zach. I love Tyler to death. Like, it's not men. It's just it is a tone that happens. If people explain to me what my period is like, I'm like, okay.
Wait, what?
There's a man who tried to explain what my period is like. That's mansplaining. Okay, that's mansplaining. Not that all men are awful and are condescending and awful. Like, no. Like, that happens. I've had guys explain to me what my period is like and what happens. Like, that's mansplaining, okay? It's something entirely different. It's nothing to do with, like, all men are awful. Like, all men, it's not all men. It isn't. God, mansplaining is real. Do not do like it is a really terrible thing.
It's a word that exists to give you one example of it, but it happens in other areas too.
So same thing. Okay,
it's a class thing. It's kind of like, it'll still happen when you have people who come from a really high class talking to people of a low class. It's condescension. It is a form of condescension that generally comes from a man to a woman. So, womansplaining.
Anger is a thing. Oh god, yeah. There are some people who are very intense, and for me, like, alpha females are not a thing. Oh, wow, that gets scary for me. So yeah, womansplaining alpha females, that's kind of what I've grouped into a very intense sort of female. I had something to say and I fully forgot. Holy crap. God damn it.
So this is a good point. AC Moore says, I'm a Trump supporter, white male Christian. Until 6 years ago in the redneck area of Northeast Tennessee, I never felt I was racist. Hearing talk like this angers me because I know I'm not hating others, but hearing what is said here and in the media make me think I should hate all blacks and all people that do not think the way I do. Actually, if you're listening to our conversation, we're actually saying that, no, we get that. And that there's people out there who don't think that way. They just want the world to be better.
Absolutely.
You just want the world to be better, and you think that Trump's the person to do it. That's where people will disagree, and they don't look past that disagreement and just say, because of that, this person's probably like this. That's what I'm saying. I agree with you that people make rush decisions.
And the thing with, like, media, too, like, they have, like, in order to bring news, we have to group everything into a big bundle. We have to box stuff in order to package and do this. And it's like, it's not true.
Muslims
and it's
are like
the same thing we're talking about, like, if you're Christian, are you the KKK? No. If you're Muslim, are you ISIS? It's like, it extends beyond just that group.
We have so many issues with media in this country
and
how it portrays stereotypes. And it perpetuates it.
And the semantics and how we talk about it. Like, it's so important. Like,
Volcan Yusono, thank you for the follow. Woo! I am a huge believer that it's a lot of self-perpetuating I think if the media were to change its language, other people in time would change theirs. I feel like there's a responsibility in the media, and they don't take that responsibility because it all comes down to the bottom dollar.
Yeah, and whoever like retweets it or clicks it the most,
Yeah.
right? And that really sucks. Is how am I gonna get someone to look at this
If
headline?
only we
I'm gonna
could
say something
make
outrageous.
Everyone listen to NPR. And if only, yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, I can't change people's minds. That's it. Like it's just like I can try and be a good example, and that's it. Trying to be good.
Yeah,
example.
and I would say the same to that that SF Lumiere is saying too. AC Moore's, I am cool with whoever you support, and I understand that in your eyes, you just want to make the world a better place, and I can understand that. Where my disagreement will come is that I feel like, unfortunately, both sides, and I don't think it's just one, I think both sides in this situation are doing things that only divide the country rather than unite them by using rhetoric and language that makes people who disagree with each other hate each other and encourage it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's presidential for anyone to say, to throw people out of functions, to actually encourage hitting people, to encourage violence. To me, that makes us a joke as a country on the grander scale of the world, and it's unfortunate as a superpower. Like there's stuff happening in our media and in our country that makes it feel like we're a third world country at times. And it's like we're supposed to be above this stuff. We have systems in place to put us above this shit.
Yeah, and we've like what? How many millions of years of evolution or just like adaptation? Like we should be better.
Yeah, and both sides do it. It infuriates the fuck out
Both
of me.
sides, yeah. So both sides, absolutely. Steph, chill. Yeah, it's late night. I like being awake right around now. I get creative. I do stuff. It's me being chill and not yelling at people.
So yeah, and it's funny because it's like and it's not all bad, you know, like it's not all bad. You know, you have stuff that happens in Orlando, and it's terrible. And we're not going to talk the politics of that stuff on this show because that's far more complicated of an issue than people like us can discuss
Too many
and
layers.
handle.
It's way too many layers that I cannot even begin to address.
What's always interesting is all the positive that comes out of, like, there's still good people out there. The amount of events that happened around the country that showed support.
Oh, yeah.
And like I said, just like how everyone likes to complain about the stuff they don't like on our channel, everyone likes to complain about the stuff they don't like on the internet. And they'll be like, oh, Missouri didn't put their flags at half staff. Let's all piss about that. Well, how many states did? How many states, cities came together to throw events and support to the victims? So many. And that, to me, is like, that's where it's like, if you're looking for the positive in that situation, we are moving forward slowly as a country towards acceptance and understanding. Like my middle brother is gay and an openly gay man in Kansas City, and he's a bear. He's a macho.
Yeah,
gay.
nice.
And you know, like, he messaged my parents and I, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna use our family photo for We Stand with Orlando. And everyone in my family was like, yeah, of course. And he was like, oh, you know, I just want to run it by everybody before I put the picture up. And then we were kind of like, why would you even do that? And he's like, well, I'm just used to being weirded out by everyone being, like, I just expect people to disagree, kind of thing. And to see my parents from the middle of nowhere, like, come to that point where, like, yes, of course, like, we're with you 100%. We stand, you know, like, this is terrible and let's stand together. Like, that made me feel like, like, we're making progress.
Yeah,
this is terrible. But there's things that are happening that make you realize that there's a lot of good people out there that are changing in history. Like, it's growing slowly.
There are good things. There are a lot of great reactions, and that's the important bit, and that's the important wave to keep riding.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's just hard
Ooh,
to...
Erica's channel. Woohoo.
Yeah.
5,500 free quality Florida. Awesome.
Yeah, it's...
Also, like, now we're able to get news instantly, which is insane, which changes everything. Absolutely changes everything, to even how we get to react and become a part of something. Like, never had a chance to ever do this before, so it was good.
Yeah, and we did find out on... I wish Twitch would give us these statistics. The Twitch is really bad with statistics.
Yeah.
We do have good statistics come from Facebook. And if you guys aren't following us on Facebook, you should totally follow us because it allows us to get a better representation of our audience.
Yeah.
But we found
It's actually working now. It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, like we can actually see. We get a better idea of who's watching, but that's just our Facebook. But a lot of people that follow us on here don't follow us on Facebook. But on Facebook, we have like a 30% female to 70% male, which for the games industry in total of like games media is pretty high. Not as high as we want. But what was interesting is our reach is like almost 50-50, which was interesting. So as far as people following the Facebook, it's not like, it's still primarily male, but as far as the people that we're reaching in our posts and the people that are paying attention to what we're doing, it's almost 50-50.
Cool, that's really awesome.
That was good. That was really cool. And that's kind of a goal of ours internally, is to make sure that we're hitting that as much as possible. It's just tough because it's hard to get. It's a tough thing to like get the. It's hard because we want people to know that, like somebody said, that they feel like this is a safe place for the LGBT community, and that's really important to us. And diversity is really important. It's hard to be diverse in Redmond, Washington, compared to in LA.
Like I got a text. That's how I got to DFA. Tyler messaged me saying, we're doing a show. It's gonna be great. We just want more like the queer female gamers on the show. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I feel it's a safe place. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be talking with you guys. Definitely wouldn't be talking with you guys. Wouldn't have my Twitter up. I definitely feel safe because I remember what it's like to feel unsafe. I know it's like to feel unsafe.
Yeah, it's really important to us, but it's like that tough thing of like, you ride a fine line because I'm still a white straight male CEO. You know what I mean? And Jordan is my business partner, who is a white straight male CEO, and like when we first had our original talks, I was like, this is really important. We have to make sure this happens. I want more female hosts than male hosts if at all possible on our channel. We need diversity. It's really important. Twitch is a worldwide platform, and the rest of the world isn't Redmond, Washington. It's
God, yeah, no.
And the tough part about it is like, it's one of those things you have to know internally that that's what you want to do, but to let people know that we are is really difficult because you don't want to make it a thing.
Yeah.
You just want to be it. You just want people to feel it.
I mean, I think
because that feels better to me. It's like, hey, we're representing life.
And
we're representing the world. And what I hate about media is
representation in general is like having that kind of opportunity with your host and all your shows all the time. It's already showing. Personally, I think so. Like that's one thing we're always fighting for, right? Representation in movies and books, to always see a face that we can relate to, and like we have a really awesome diverse crew. I think.
Well, what bothers me? Well, I wish more African American people lived in fucking Seattle and Redmond, and it's weird too because even from like people from like Middle Eastern and India, that's a very large population of this area, but we can't find anyone interested in doing media.
Oh yeah.
So I've been looking a lot. It's just tough because the people who actually want to be involved in media is very slim, extremely slim.
It's all tech. This is tech.
But it's one of those things, like, we want to be able to let people know online that we're a safe place for that, but at the same time, you don't want to promote it. You don't want to go tell people, like, hey, we're this kind of place, because then it feels like you're, especially as a white male CEO, it feels like you're trying to, like, be that...
Pander out.
Yeah, it feels like you're pandering. It feels like you're pandering, and we don't want it to be that. We want it to be an accurate representation of the fucking world.
Yeah.
And I hate that about movies. I hate that about... I'm getting really pissed off at all these fucking men's rights activists that say shit like, this is bullshit that we're having this stuff shoved down our throats. Blah, 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 blah. The lead guy in Watch Dogs can't be black because of this, this, and this. And it's like, wake the fuck up. This is the world.
Yeah, E3, yeah. There's some things out there I'm like, okay, just like kind of tune it out because honestly, I don't know.
Well, what bothers me is that people say this shit. I'm like, do you honestly look the fuck around you? Like, if you were to take the accurate representation of even a place... Okay, most of this media is made in California. Most of the media that we consume is made in California. What the fuck is LA? It is Mexico. You can say whatever you want about it. It is like... white Caucasian is becoming a minority.
Okay, so like upper half of California-ish muddles up to be a lot of Filipinos,
Yeah.
and then everything else underneath is like it's lots of Mexican. It's
Right. It's a Hispanic, and the media does not represent that. You watch shows about Los Angeles, it's a bunch of white people in apartment buildings. I'm like, one, they can't afford that shit. Number two, that is not Los Angeles. That is not Los Angeles.
But then, like, so that's the other
Write
thing
the
too,
world
like,
that's around you, and people don't.
We don't have the ability to reach out, because this is talking about so there was like a really great little YouTube little mini show called Carmilla, and talking about people of color representation, and like a lot of the unions just don't have that outreach, right? Because they don't think about it and they don't choose to do it. There's like so many.
What's a systematic
issues.
problem from the very top down?
Yeah, absolutely top is because they do not reach out and make it available, which really sucks. And at that point, like when you're making a movie or making a show, like you literally can only choose from this batch, and like some things don't even get made unless you have this person or these things attached to it, which like fucking sucks. It's archaic. It's freaking archaic.
It's super archaic.
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite things when we were interviewing Robbie Thompson about Silk, and it's a weird thing to bring up and talk about, because we're like, hey, it's really cool that you write women really well, and not just women, but an Asian woman, and your cast in that book is extremely diverse. Did you make that a thing, like an effort? And he's like, well, I have to make an effort to argue its existence, but to write it, no, because if I look around me, that's the world I know. It's like,
and that's like
he's like, if I look around me in my office space, or if I look around me with my friends and the people that hang out with, it's like, this person's this and that orientation, and this person's this and that orientation, this person's this, like, that's the world around us.
Yeah.
If you just open your eyes as a writer or a creator,
oh yeah,
that's
and then,
the world
that's the
around
thing,
you.
like, you can still be, like, white, straight, male, and still, like, you just open your eyes, and that's it. And, like, I think now as you keep moving forward, there are going to be more of those kinds of people that will look around and go, okay, this is the world, like, this is the world that I'm immersed in, this is normal, Yeah. When you guys see Battletech, the new video game coming out, like, there's so much diversity, like, Tyler, like, the entire team works so hard to make diversity, because you're in space in the 3000s.
yeah,
It's
not
gonna be
a bunch
freaking
of white
diverse,
people.
and they did it. It's really great. It sounds so far like from what I've heard. It's fantastic. It's great. It's really exciting. It's a small step, but you know what? It just takes all those little tiny steps. And as we keep moving on forward from here, I honestly believe that there's gonna be better writers, gonna be better writing. Like if you just look at the new ways you can get stories told now.
I think comic books are great, because comic books are always ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
They're able to do it faster. They're able to kind of like switch things around and do it at a quicker pace. And comic books have changed so much in the last 2 years. It's great. Like they've really been like, okay, fuck it. And then but then everybody gets. I just hate it. The media even covers it, pisses me off. Like, oh, Captain America's black. Well, we better throw a big fit about it and act like this is a big deal. It's like, no, he's Captain America. Shut the fuck up. Like, that's Sam Wilson's Captain America. Get the fuck over it.
The core of character.
Kamala Kai
Yeah.
is a fucking awesome character. Get the fuck over it. She's a teenage girl who you now get to see a different perspective of how growing up with that belief system in New York affects your, like, being a teenager. That's an awesome story for anyone. Like, that's just, it's cool shit.
Hey,
Drives me
Frosty.
nuts. What's up, Frosty? That kind of stuff just drives me so. It's just,
Ethics,
it's the
you're
world
getting
around
censored a lot, but I know you're not a shithead. You're hanging out with us. You're
He's
a
not getting
shithead.
censored.
Okay. Or like the bits.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Eternal Night, and I'm just getting so tired. And I do get some of it, because if you really did grow up where I did,
Yeah.
it's 98% white Caucasian. What's up, white insanity?
White?
Wait, you know what?
White.
What's up?
So,
If you grew up where I did, it's like 98% white Caucasian. There's not even like a Hispanic population there, and it might actually be 99.8% white Caucasian. I could understand if those people were on the internet saying like, "This isn't the world I know," because it's not the world they know. But that story doesn't take place in fucking Podunk, middle of nowhere. Like, if your story takes place in Podunk, middle of nowhere, and it's a story that involves a bunch of white people, Wicked. Sorry.
Wicked, sorry.
Wicked.
I've been up since 4:30. I'm sorry.
Then then I understand that. But if that story takes place in New York, San Francisco, Los Angeles, one of the cultural meccas of this country, fuck you if it's 80% white people. Like, fuck you. That is not even close to what's around you in that world. And that's just media self-perpetuating its bullshit.
Yeah.
And trying to make us think that there's... Well, it won't make money otherwise. I'm like, fuck you, you don't know.
Sucks, like,
you don't know.
When stuff's like built around making money, like we have to spend the rest of our lives unlearning really stupid shit.
Yeah.
Like the worst shit. And it sucks. Holy crap, it sucks. Oof. I have to remind myself every day, like, kind of who I am, who I want to be. And it's like, it changes obviously, but like, I mean, you gotta fight
What's it like?
so much.
I mean, I guess you're living in one of the most diverse... You're living in one of the most diverse thinking parts of
Yes.
Seattle, but not one of the most diverse parts of Seattle.
No.
You're living in a primarily white part of Seattle, but one of the most, like, culturally diverse.
Accepting, open-minded.
Yeah. What has it been like, though?
So I grew up.
as a-
So even as I grew up as a kid, I grew up like around a ton of white people. Lots of white
Yeah.
people, and so like I never really embraced the term Asian American until I was in my 20s. You know, and it's weird. It's really weird.
Volcanzos, nobody's turning normal characters into people of color. Those characters have already existed. They're doing exactly what you're asking. Your comment lets me know that you're not actually reading those stories. They're not just turning people in, at least not in Marvel. I don't know what's happening in DC, but in Marvel, people don't just change races or sex. There's character growth over long periods of time, and they earn that shit. Thor is a woman now because she earned that shit, and it's a badass story. Like, she's fighting cancer. She's a badass. If you try to tell anyone who's reading that book that Jane Foster doesn't deserve to be Thor, they're gonna have... That's fighting words. Like, she's Thor, and she's badass. And Odin's son, he's not worthy anymore. He fucked up. He eventually becomes Thor again, but right now, he's in timeout mode.
Yeah.
Are there any shows that you actually think are getting it right? That's a tough question. They're not usually mainstream English shows.
Most
Netflix
recently,
is a
I
little-
I was impressed with Jessica Jones. So like just like for talking about mental health and female characters. I think like in a majority, like after 7th episode, it kind of deflated a little for me. But I think it's a step in the right direction. Kind of depends. Let's see. Shows that get it right. I'm really happy with Elementary, and that Joan Watson is not a love interest.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking happy that she's
Somebody
still
said
not a
Fresh
love
Off the Boat. Yeah, Malika and I watched Fresh Off the Boat. It's... I know a lot of people.
I don't
work
catch a
on
lot of
that
TV.
show.
I do not catch a lot of TV. I just watch Orphan Black, Elementary. I stopped watching Game of Thrones. What else do I watch? Yeah, that's it. And Steven's Universe. That's it. I very minimal on shows.
Becoming a character over time is pretty fun, but changing them, just making the character black without mentioning why is silly to me is all. Why? Can you tell me why? Why do you even need to explain it? Okay, Volcano Sono. I'm not going to be able to change your mind or anything like that, but can you give me a good, honest reason why? Why does that matter? So, they cast Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury in that movie. And the first time we saw Samuel L. Jackson in a Marvel movie, he's a fucking badass. Samuel L. Jackson is an amazing badass character. Why does Samuel L. Jackson have to be white? It's a character. It's a fictional character who is not defined by his race. He's defined by his character. And that's my issue with this stuff. To say that people can't just switch, or they're saying like to change them as sexes or races or anything like that. It's like, it's a character.
I think you have to do it right. That's the thing, though, right?
But to say that you have to explain it, why the fuck do you have to explain that now that Nick Fury's gonna be black? Because Samuel Jackson's a fucking badass, and he got cast as Nick Fury. What more do you need to know?
And also, the Marvel movies are technically a separate universe.
But even then, who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares? Why does it matter? It's a character. It's a character. It doesn't define the
Crossplays,
character.
Crossplays, too.
Yeah, it's like Idris Elba. Dude, fucking put Idris Elba in anything. That motherfucker can act his ass off around just about anybody.
He's a great angry tiger
No,
too.
okay.
He makes a great tiger.
The only one that I would say that I would understand an argument for is, can you make James Bond a woman?
Oh, yeah.
I get that argument because James Bond is defined. He's defined by being. His character is a womanizer.
Mm-hmm.
His character is a representation of male, of the machoistic early English like attitude. He is defined by that. So I would argue that I understand people getting upset from that one because his character is defined by that. But when people are like, oh, like, couldn't Gillian Anderson play a 00 agent? Fuck yeah, that would be badass. I'd watch that.
And so this is a funny one. I've been on the fence about Doctor Strange. I'm actually excited about seeing that movie. So I know haven't seen the rest of the cast. I have not read any of the comic books. I kind of know the premise. So is this coming from an outsider's perspective? People like freaked out about Tilda Swinton. I get it, but you have to realize that source material was racist to begin with. Right? You're talking about the ancient one. What's the most exotic thing in the 60s? Asians.
Yeah.
So, like, okay, I had also a conversation with Tyler about this. Like, he had a whole list of amazing, like, male Asian actors you could just put in for that. That's totally cool. And in this kind of perspective, I'm actually kind of interested in seeing her as the ancient one. Yeah.
Yeah, me too, because she's amazing.
I'm interested. I'm just interested.
She's amazing.
I understand the problems. I understand.
We need more Asian representation
Yes.
in media, especially big movies like that.
Holy shit, yes.
I understand Marvel's standpoint, like the guy coming out and saying, like, anything we do in that situation, we're fucked. Mm-hmm. And it was the same thing with the Mandarin in Iron Man 3. If you put an Asian man in that position, we're now insulting and making fun of Asian people because that's what Marvel did when they created the Mandarin. And they've luckily been like, we can't do that.
I want more Jackie Chan, like, kung fu movies. I miss that
Oh
so
my
much.
God,
Oh god,
dude.
I miss his kung fu movies so much.
I can't even say how many of those I've watched.
Oh god, it's so good. I remember Drunken Master so much. Oh, such good stuff. But yeah, it's like it's like a really hard, blurry line to talk about representation, I guess. I mean, because even like comparing Nick Fury to Ancient One, like that's very completely different, very very different things.
Volcano Sano, nobody's even saying that's gonna happen. I don't think that's gonna happen. In the comic books, it made complete sense. So, like, when Sam Wilson took up the shield in the comic books, it made total sense. And that book is really fucking awesome. Like, Sam Wilson's Captain America brings up stuff that having a modern black Captain America character is really fucking cool for storytelling. Because it brings up stuff that's happening in modern America that we can't tell in the same way that we could with the white Captain America. It's a really great and interesting book, and I suggest you check it out.
Like small fries, like so the whole reason of having like an African American like Captain America is because Sam takes over. Right?
Yeah. Who's like his best friend, and who earns the role.
Like, there's a lead up to it for sure.
Yeah.
If it were just completely random with no like, oh this is like, hey, new issue, this happened, like.
You'd
Why?
be like, now
Yeah.
you know how it feels to be Asian and have one of your most iconic characters turned into Scarlett Johansson.
Oh god.
One of your most iconic! Like,
Oh god, Ghost in the Shell. Oh god.
that's the kind of stuff where you're just like, really? We've had some amazing, fucking amazing Asian female martial arts kind of characters over the years who've done really well with American audiences.
Oh
I don't
God, yeah.
believe that she was the only choice for that.
Prefer
You know
the
what I mean?
art and story between Lineage 2. Guild Wars. I loved Guild Wars. I tried playing Lineage. It wasn't a game for me. Art-wise, Guild Wars. Oh man, such cool stuff. Story was really beautiful too. Okay, so Guild Wars setup was a beautiful setup, and when I played Guild Wars 2, I rolled a char, and I ran through Ascalon and found all the old the old church, the old comet, everything, and I freaking cried. I cried playing that game because everything from Guild Wars 1 in the story meant so much to me. Holy crap, yeah, Guild Wars 1 for sure.
Well, also the difference. Okay, so you will be avenged. The other thing we have to understand here is when you're talking about this stuff, it's a very multi-layered thing. There's privilege involved. There's privilege involved. So it's one thing to take a white character and turn it into a black character because it has nothing to do with the character. The race doesn't define the character. That's one thing. To take a character that's a part of another person's culture and then turn it into a white character is different because of where you're coming. Like, it's multi-layered.
So Motoko is a cyborg. Okay, so we're talking about that. Motoko is a cyborg, but the essence of Ghost in the Shell as a story is really important that it takes place in Japan. It's a Japanese story. It has to take place in Japan because of the history, because of the technology. It's not just like your body looks different. It's like it has to take place in Japan. Like, it's just one of like everything about it. From like we're talking about freaking information security. It's Japan. It has to be Japan. Like, it has nothing to do with the future and like the robot bodies and stuff. Like Motoko Kusanagi. Kusanagi is also named after like the 3 Gugalias of the Emperor. Like, it is very steeped in Japanese culture. And like when you take on a name like that, you know, you are Major Kusanagi. You are constantly reminded of where you come from and who you're supposed to represent. So it's hard to shed that. Like her online persona can be anything. Like, I know in the manga she was like, you know, always on the net, and by that time she's whatever she wants to be. But it's really, really important that she's represented as Japanese, and the story has to be Japanese.
Yeah, that's another overall issue.
It's it's tricky. It's so tricky. That one's super tricky.
Make Scarlett Johansson the voice in her. Yeah. Great. It's not a Japanese story. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. But you're taking a Japanese story and you're making it a very, like... It sucks. It's like if they do Akira. If you do fucking Akira and you put white people in it, oh my god. That movie is just...
It's Avatar all over again.
That movie is an extension of nuclear fallout. Like, we don't... That's not our story. And I say that our as in a white male. Like, that's not our story. Get the fuck over it. Like, we don't know. Yeah. We don't know. That's not our story. And the other thing is when people say stop trying to change people from white characters just to be more politically correct. No. Because we have a responsibility to do so. As a white male, I didn't know what it was like growing up to not have people to look up to in the superhero world. I didn't know what that was like. I got to just open any book, almost anything, and be like, yo, dude! You know, I always love this conversation with Hector about why he loves Spider-Man. Because Spider-Man is one of the only heroes in the Marvel Universe that focuses more on what you do, not having money, not having, like, richness, which is something that a lot of people who come from, like, minority backgrounds don't feel like they can obtain. That's a white man's world kind of thing. And he wears a full bodysuit, and you don't know who's under there.
Yeah.
And it makes a lot of people who are young and of minority, like, and that should be the first clue. It's like they want to have something that they can identify with. I don't know what that's like.
Yeah,
I've been represented my entire fucking life as a white male. I've got to experience so many things. And when people complain about these changes, it's like, dude, nobody took those other things away from you. Yeah. You still have them. I can still go back and look at any old Amazing Spider-Man book, and there's my white Peter Parker. That doesn't change the fact that I think Miles Morales is super important and should exist.
There's a reason why Ripley's important to me, and why Xena is so important. Yeah. I don't need the remake, but what growing up with that was so important. Like, holy crap. Like, Hercules was at the same... Like, Hercules and Xena, like, oh, fuck yeah, Xena. Why not? Why not a warrior princess? Why the fuck not?
Yeah.
You know, like, that stuck with me more than anything, you know? And in video games, like, oh yeah, I'd always play these guys. Like, fine, I get it, it's avatars, but, like, if I get to see a female character, like, I play nothing but female characters now. I always make female characters. Diablo, everything.
That's a whole other fucking argument.
You know? And, like, different, it's also being able to experience things as a female and be happy with it. Like, that's...
I know. It just...
Very different. It's very different.
It cracks me up, like, white...
Xena is badass. Fuck yeah.
White men complaining about having to play as a black man in Watch Dogs 2, and it's like, boo fucking who? Black men have been playing as white characters since the creation of video games. Get the fuck over it.
Subscription?
No, follower. DVNX77, thank you for following.
Woo! Femshep too. Oh god, yeah.
We are, as a white man, we are extremely overrepresented in the media. We're not representing reality. We're overrepresented. Get the fuck over it. Give some other people a chance to feel like they have things they can connect with and be a part of.
Yeah, and White Rabbit, like, watching back, I'm like, oh. Like, you had to have grown up with it to really have it close to your heart. It's like, they're like talking about, like, remaking it. I'm like, no, don't, please,
oh, man,
don't,
I used to stay up
please
late.
Don't.
I only had one channel growing up, NBC. It's the only one we had, and they used to do this thing at, like, 2 in the morning on Saturday nights. I've always had kind of insomnia, and I used to stay up just to watch Xena and Hercules. And I thought I was doing a bad thing, like, this is adult television. Yeah. 2 in the morning. So funny.
Oh, Metroid, yeah. That reveal didn't happen in like my time when I wasn't involved in like really involved in video games with that reveal. Like Metroid, like I kind of didn't know, and then one day knew that it was Samus, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. But
Zach, we're not overrepresented. We're the majority. No, that's the art. We're not. We're not. That's the thing. When it comes, if you look at the world around you, we're not. We may call the shots because of our like status and class structure that we've put into this country, but I'm pretty sure Asians out like. There's a lot more Asians in this world than there are white dudes.
that country's huge. Also, you look at our like Americans have really fucked up maps. Like everything's actually a lot bigger than like what's there,
Africa
and we're like
swallows
America,
us whole.
and we're like no, America's actually this small.
Yeah,
you know. So
and you go to places like Los Angeles, like I said, where a lot of our media is made, and no, white is not the like.
It's
no.
weird. So like we're actually having a conversation for like race and skin color. Like from what I've read and understood, like in Europe and the UK, it's different. Like their discrimination is very, very different. It's like literally where you're from. It's not even the shade. Like sometimes it's shade, but like they still have it, and it's just I don't know. It's just like this small little bug in all of us that like people feel this need to compare, and when we just need to stop doing that. We just it's like a very archaic thing that happened long ago, and a lot of stuff is built up on it, I think. And we just have to, as a whole, start unlearning it. And we are, and it's just a very slow process to undo how many hundreds of years of that bullshit.
Yeah.
You know?
And you guys are gonna start seeing more and more because take World of Warcraft or Warcraft movie for example. It way overperformed in Asia than it did in America.
Oh God. Oh.
Not a total mistake. A lot of movies that feature people who have hidden skin color, lots of action with very little dialogue, do really well overseas, especially in Asia. And a lot of movie companies have stopped making certain aspects of American movies. It's like that cost versus return kind of thing. Transformers is a really good example. Transformers does extremely well with lower income and overseas. So they're going to keep doing it that way. Because the lack of exposition and lack of dialogue with mainly explosions goes over really well in foreign cinema.
Oh wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
Just because of dubbing or subtitling, or it's just kind of how to bridge that culture gap.
Gamer Me says, okay, I'll get chastised for this, but didn't you spend a lot of time on the show talking about being positive and all here and we are deep in the drama? This is a lot different than being negative.
Yeah.
I don't feel like this is being negative.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we're being negative.
No, it's more like I'm hoping for just a discussion to talk about this. Like, I'm not right. There's a lot of stuff that I need to fix and, like, reevaluate, and this is more of a discussion and throwing it out, and more like, you tell me what you think, and we have a discussion. I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping for.
It's almost midnight, too, and we've started making this show end at midnight because I have to paint in the morning.
I'm gonna have to be up at 4 again. Yay!
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I take naps.
What time's the shop open?
5, so I'm there at 4:30. Oh, yeah, I wake up at 4:30.
Damn.
Get there, open 5, and then have everything ready by 6. I've just learned to get really good at just
Hardcore
ghosting.
napping?
Oh yeah, hardcore napping all the time.
All right. Well, is there anything else you would like to share with the audience about yourself before we have to call it a night?
Oh, anything you guys like? 3 questions. I'll answer 3 questions that I deem reasonable.
Yeah, 3 questions.
Come on. Yeah, also it's like pretty awful that people have to wake up earlier than me sometimes too, and they're like there before I open. I'm like, why are you here? Your bosses are awful. Why are you having a meeting? What the hell's wrong with you? Yeah. My favorite Muppet? Does like anything from Dark Crystal count? The Chamberlain's one of my favorites. Holy shit. I love that movie. Oh man. On my tattoo, which one is you? Ooh, the little ram skull with the spear. Just because I did design this, and this was kind of a kind of a representation for a character, the Satyr Ranger I wanted to make, Desert Wanderer. So that's most me, I think. Oh, Green Eye Chomos, that's great. Oh, thanks, Chaotic Mooney. Thanks for hanging out. What's your favorite D&D class and race? Oh man, I just love playing rogues and I love tieflings. I like screwed around with stats so I could play a tiefling monk and it was worth it. Oh man, I dodged that fireball so good.
I was a tiefling.
I love tieflings. Favorite song? That's hard. I know one song that I listened forever on repeat is "A Little Death" by The Neighborhood.
More and more!
Friend
Just
computer
subscribe!
welcomes a
Holy
new
shit!
bumper.
Thank you
For
so much,
science.
more and more!
Thank you!
Oh wow! Thank you for that
Sweet.
subscribe. Holy shit!
Awesome.
This has been our most successful show for subscribers all week. Hey, congratulations!
Yeah!
It's because
See
of you.
guys.
It's because you're
Yeah.
here. It's because you're here. Give him a position. I'm gonna look for somebody to raid to end this
Good
thing out
position.
tonight.
You're the guy who loves to run through emergency doors for fun to see how fast you are. And we stop you before you get crushed. Every
You know
time.
what we're gonna do?
Every time. Oh, thanks, FF9 Master.
We're gonna raid that bronze girl since she joined us on the show today. That's
Nice
what we're
to
gonna
meet
do.
you too, Frosty.
All right, guys, we're gonna raid that bronze girl.
Woohoo! She guessed it earlier today, right?
Yep.
Cool.
She's also playing the game that we're gonna be playing tomorrow night.
Well, it's gonna be fun. Hey
Alright.
guys, before you raid, it was really awesome talking to you. Hope it was a nice kind of discussion, you know. Kill Lord Commander. Oh, but he's like my dad. I'll boss him around more.
All right, guys, get ready for the raid. We're gonna end this thing out right. Thank you guys so much for watching tonight, joining us
y'all.
for the talk. Stick around tomorrow morning. I'm going to be finishing up the Warcraft painting in VR, and then we've got a full day of programming, and then I have to do trivia hops with my father.
I wish I could watch that, but I'm playing D&D, so at least you can. I'll catch that later.
Oh
I'll
my
make fun of
God.
you later. It's fine.
All right,
It was nice
guys.
talking to you guys. It
Get
was
ready.
super awesome.
Get ready. Get ready to do this.
Let's watch her murder people. Is she the murderer?
Oh, looks like no. She's playing as a.
Oh man.
Boom!
Do it!
Go, go,
Have
go,
fun. Be
go!
awesome. I'm glad we could help calm you. Good luck on surgery. Combustible full. Aww.
Hello, Hyper RPG. Thank you so much for the raid.
That is so many tabs.
Oh
I
my
never knew
goodness,
that
broke my
you could have that
heart.
many tabs
How
up there. Holy
insane.
crap.
Guys,
This is one of my open
watching.
windows.
Oh god.
If you haven't already followed Hyper RPG, you definitely should. I just guested on their channel earlier today for their comic book show. It's absolutely wonderful. Really good people. Local to Seattle, so for those of you hanging out that are Seattle people, oh, I'm gonna die. Definitely drop them a follow. Drop them a follow.
I gotta get driving back to make that card back in time.
Thank you so much, dude.
Super awesome
Thank
chatting
you.
with you.
Thank you. Hope you had fun.
I did, for sure. For sure.
Thank you so much. Oh my god.
I was excited, nervous, but
This is real.
it was really good.
Yeah.
Good feels, man.
Yeah.
Fantastic
It's always
job
good
on
for them to get to know you better.
Thank you, Era.
For sure.
Thank you
Bye, guys. I'm gonna go shut it down.
Really nervous. I don't know if
Can you still see us?
If they want to really badly. We hosted, but they can like look out.
Right now.
See you Friday.
Like, oh gosh.
Have fun.
I get
luck
really
tomorrow.
shy.
Thanks.
A lot of people are like, oh, you stream, how can you be shy? But it's different when it's like, I don't know, it's like in a studio and you have like lights on your face. You're like, ah, we made it, fam. But this is scary.